listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
And good evening, welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, back at the helm, Kate of Gaia, here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. So there you go. For those that want to call in via Skype, I love these people that are on the ball, Clarity and everybody. Thank you so much. For those that want to call in direct through Skype, save themselves the bouncing ball on the Blog Talk page. Just put BTR listener 029. Just going to double check here. Let me see, just make sure I got that right. Yes, BTR listener 029 into the search contacts and search it. And as soon as it shows up, right click it, hit call. That'll bring you right to the board. For those that want to call in tonight, it should be an interesting night for sure. You can call in at 661-467-2401. And although I've only been back about 45 minutes, about 45 minutes, I haven't had really a chance to check in anything. No internet and complete, complete disconnect. But it was kind of cool. We'll get into a bit of that tonight as far as the ayahuasca journey and what have you, and give you my thoughts and whatnot there. Big thank you to Mike and of course Paul and Fire Phoenix for Friday and Saturday night, and Michael, thank you especially for helming the table to make sure that the two nights were covered. And it was a beautiful thing, because knowing that your table is here for you and that you guys can take care of it is just such a peaceful thing. And it never even really crossed my mind, except around the time the show would be on. I think, oh, they're having fun, and I'm here having fun. Anyway, to say I missed the table is an understatement. And you really don't realize how much, well, for me anyway, how incredibly vibrant and important this table is until you step away for a day or two. And a day, okay, but 2 days, I got to tell you, I was feeling it. I was feeling it today, and it's just a very, very powerful place to be with like-minded souls. And I haven't had an opportunity to go through Facebook, but I've seen a few posts and what have you, so things are chugging along nicely. I'll get a chance to go through the Skype rooms. I was surprised there was only 30 separate tags on Skype. I was expecting more than that, but that's cool. And, of course, Facebook, I haven't had a chance to even look at the messages. I have quite a few waiting there as well. So I will get to those as soon as I do. Mental note for anyone posting and tagging, do not tag my name with any known shitiots, please. Thank you. I'll just leave it at that. And no fear porn on my page either. Thanks. All right, there was a few of them there I had to delete. So if you're wondering where it went, you had a comment and you can't find it, it's because I throw garbage out. It's kind of what I do, right? If it's garbage, I throw it out. If it's interfering and defining somebody else's reality with fear, well, it goes right to the shredder immediately. But I've got Mike on the board here, so I'm going to bring Mike in. Let's have a little wide open discussion tonight, because that's what I want it to be tonight, just wide open. I can give you lots of profound things that came to light over the weekend, but nothing that you don't really know, just getting a lot funnier and a lot more profound as we go. But again, Michael, thank you very much for helming the board. I greatly appreciate it.
Aloha, Kate.
Aloha.
Yeah. Beautiful. We're closer than ever. That's kind of oxymoronic, because we're already together, so I don't know how you can get any closer. But we're at the layer of the skin, Kate. The last layer of fear, so-called separation. The boundary, our own so-called boundary between another, which is this layer of skin, where the analog and digital, something right here is coming clear for us. And it's this perceived separation that is not there. That when we look with our eyes, we can still, in some ways, see a difference. And that come right back to, now we're on to color, Kate, where it was always the color of our skin, and now it was like, man, that was the confusion. It's this other aspect of the skin that we have, how it's the so-called border between our inner world and our outer world. And we talked about it on Astro Quest today. We opened it up a little with Seven, and he was like, I've been having this conversation 3 days with, this is it, Kate. And so Can we break down skin?
Oh, well, yeah, you've got the divine feminine knowledge, kin. Right? Now, just to make it even simpler, where you are right now, in your moment of now, and if you can be in the now, you are sitting right in the middle of heaven. And I'll tell you something. I said this the other night, and the experience yesterday wasn't even remotely close to previous DMT experiences, and it wasn't anything other than to do with the dosage. It just wasn't enough, and it was a new thing that the gentleman had, and he wasn't quite sure how potent it was, and I have a fairly high threshold apparently, and where some who really got the experience, my threshold is a little bit higher, and that's only because I spent 5 nights in a row there just going through and really breaking things down. But here's something to put in your pipe and smoke, literally, DMT hopefully and preferably. You're sitting right in the middle of heaven right now, and the only reason you can't see it is because you're seeing the slow false light called the Luciferian light. The light frequency you would call normally sunshine and lights in the room and stuff. This typical band of light that we're seeing is the veil. And what happens with DMT is literally an accelerant, a spiritual accelerant that allows you to see the faster frequencies of light that we have been blinded to by this light veil. It's not. You see, that's the joke of it. This veil is a veil of false light. And one of the things that and I'll ask you, Mike, because I know you've had quite a few experiences with this. The concept hit very, very clear and very clean. It did before I went up there. It was just kind of confirmed listening to people that with their experiences. I was more interested in hearing what other people were experiencing. So I guess kind of effectively moving into the guide role of, what did you see? Yeah, did you see this? Yeah, cool. And going through the different things. But one of the things that really, really hit home with me was this whole thing of, like I talk about like cannabis, when you're in the accelerated light frequencies of DMT, when you're actually wormholing, that's what you're doing. You're wormholing, and what happens is you're seeing things in the higher frequencies of light. Therefore, the true consciousness of what things are is being exposed. Now, I'll give you an example. In the normal light, when I look at cannabis, it's just little flakes and there's nothing going on. It's very still. It looks like it's dead. But when you're in the accelerated light, you see the consciousness. And I got to tell you, cannabis is like kick-ass, happy. It is like pure happy consciousness. And it has just such a beautiful, I can't even describe it really. It's... how would you describe this? It's undulating. It has this almost like, I hate to say it, I don't want to give the people the wrong picture, but almost like worms moving around. Beautiful little light worms that, and it's just got this crazy happy consciousness in it, and it's just a very, very excited plant. And what I discovered last week, and again, that's how I was gauging it yesterday. And of course, the DMT that I got wasn't enough to accelerate me to that speed of seeing that consciousness. But I at least now have a measuring stick as to where I am in that consciousness. So may I get some of your feedback on that, Mike, as far as your experiences and
very clear.
Is that kind of close to what you've experienced as far as getting the wormhole effect?
Yeah, and this is why we're bringing up the skin, because we were breaking down light, Kate. We were talking about the slowed down light. I just didn't add the kind of the precursor to the conversation that we got to skin, but you just described it. It's about the slowed down light, and that's the false light. And we're thinking what we're seeing here in terms, what let you say, it's being, how do I get this clearer? Well, what we're going to be doing is this light we're going to emit. And when we emit this light, because we are source, we have this, we will, as you're mentioning, Kate, as we increase our spin, so to say, we build up our perpetual energy source, where we increase our vibration, you can say, where we're no longer, as you see, tuning in to the slowed down light. Our attention ain't stuck there. And so when we do this, well, this is what is coming clear, Kate.
Yeah,
the true light.
Just a quick outline and carry on. But here's the comparison. When we're dealing in this Luciferian light, and I'm going to keep, that's exactly what it is. It's such a slowed down, the speed of light is so ultra slow. It really is. It is like snail compared to our true nature. Typical light that we see, we're seeing at 24 frames per second, which might sound like a lot, but that's your typical movie frames per second, okay, when you're putting up on the screen. But in reality, we're looking at things that are light that is traveling, or different frequencies, at 63 trillion frames per second. How much of the picture are you seeing?
Right.
Pretty much next to nothing.
And in that, Kate, that's the light we're attracting. That ain't the light that is here naturally.
No, we're bringing heaven here. You're absolutely right. This is, while the religio-cosis types are all worried about dying to go to heaven, well, we're dying to go to heaven in a different way. It's like you can die and go to heaven in the religious sense, or you can live and bring heaven here. And that's the mirror of every construct you've ever been put through in terms of control through schools and governments and religions and cultures, cults, whatever. Any boundaries or limitations that you've placed upon yourself. Proof of a limitation, for example, would be carrying a passport thinking that there are apparently invisible or visible lines on the surface of the earth that says this part is different than this part. And when you really stop and look at it, it is beyond retarded. It really is. I need this little piece of paper to pass over this invisible line. Okay. Go ahead.
One of these invisible lines, how I see it and reflected in my body is, and this is what it brought me to, skin. Usually when we think of skin, we get a suntan, it's absorbing. And I went, wait a second, how do I feel like all of a sudden sometimes you see people, instead of absorbing, they're shining. It's the opposite. The light ain't coming. You ain't at effects to this slowed down light. You're shining your own light. And we talk about this, shine on, you shine your inner light like this. And it's much, this is coming clearer, Kate. This, as the discernment comes between the slowed down light and what else is here, let's say.
Okay, well, let's put that in a physical sense so people have a better understanding of it, as we can relate to it in our already well-programmed day-to-day life. I like using that because it's something that everyone's familiar with. I've lived it, you've lived it, we've all lived it. When you're talking about someone with an external light, right, that's a very attractive force for something that is dark outside of you. And of course, for those, I'll tell you, my musical experience attracted all sorts of that. Everyone wanted to be a part of that and parasite off that light. And it attracted all sorts of, darkness in terms of beings or people that were in a lower state of, consciousness, yes, but in a lower state of self-worthiness. And what I see happening throughout humanity, and this is why do not post fear porn on my page, because I will just delete you, okay, because that is vampirism, where trying to take your negative imprint, ego definition of somebody else's reality and thrusting it onto someone else's face, someone else's down their throat. And this is what you'll find happening is, like, typically, for example, say a guy and a girl have a fight, and of course one of them calls their friend and they start talking about all of this, sadness and this and that and the other. And what they're doing is because they've been drained of their energy by their partner, so what they're doing now is vampiring someone else to hand over that shit. It's basically passing the spiritual garbage buck. And we do it all the time. I not anymore for me. It's like, oh yeah, you've got a victim issue. All right, well, you go off and sort that out and take your shitty little ego imprint and deal with it, because I am not letting you feed on me because you let someone feed on you. And I'll make sure that you know how to stop that from happening. But you got to stand up and take responsibility for yourself. And that's really all it boils down to. So We have a responsibility ourselves to not vampire on others. Oh, woe is me. And we've played that game. But you have an even greater responsibility to stop anyone from vampiring on you, because you're just perpetuating the problem. And if you've got any source of power, you are going to get sucked dry. And all you're going to do is keep empowering that which wants to vampire you. So cut it off. Kill it. And this is where you don't take anything personal. And the minute you can be objective in this, instead of being subjective to somebody else's shitty reality. I had a shitty reality. I fixed it. So I don't let anyone else's shitty reality come in on mine. And that's it. My game is simple. Keep putting out my own. How are we putting it this weekend? I was sharing with people about how important it is to simply define your own reality. And the catchphrase came up with this weekend was, and now back to our regularly programmed scheduled episode of, hey, won't you get a load of me, starring me, ta-da, and get used to saying that, because you are the star in your own movie. And the more power you give away to someone else, well, that's just a bad idea. And so and it's so easy to watch the interaction of people where this is occurring, where people are, it's basically passing the hot potato of a bucket of shit. And well, the bucket doesn't stop here with me. It stops in the hands of those trying to hand it to me. And then I hand the responsibility of it. I wouldn't do that to you. Why would you do that to me? Why would you want to vampire my power when I would give that to you freely? Why don't you just accept all things? Why don't you just accept the heart of all creation instead of, playing in this Marsha drama game of pass the proverbial buck? This is where you stop the telephone circle, where you stop and you stand and you change the line that's going to end. Instead of having something that's fear porn generated, then you change. Don't keep following along. You've played the school game telephone. Kid at one end, you got 30 kids in the circle, the teacher's there. Teacher tells the kid, whispers in their ear something to pass to the next kid with a whisper so no one else can hear it. And what I used to do as a kid is when it get to me, I'd change it. They'd say, like, the cat is high in the tree. It would come to me, and I'd say the dog is barking at the door. And then, of course, the kid at the end would stand up and all proudly say, the dog was barking at the door. And, of course, the teacher's face is, what? And all the kids before me went, what? And I, of course, would go, what? And
okay, what's the song? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf?
Bad wolf. Yep. Yeah. So, it's a very, very simple thing once you start seeing it. But really, for me, it boils down to the self-responsibility. How much responsibility can you take on yourself? And one of the things I will say, and I'll get into a bit more of the ayahuasca experience. Well, I can start that at any time here. Like I said, it wasn't what I was hoping for, because the dosage wasn't enough to carry me across any real threshold. I actually had to. This is the good part, though. This is what I learned. Is once the door is partly open for me, I can actually go looking, because I know what's there. I already know what's there, so I can look for it and see it. And so it was a very, very faint. How do you put it? Of everything I was already familiar with, it was just faint. But I'll tell you what I did get was a wonderful communication with the ayahuasca itself, in terms of the plant and a bit of the knowledge that came from it. And one of the things that came out of it, and I'd mentioned this to the gentleman that was doing this, I said, what do you do with the sludge, the ayahuasca sludge? Because what was shared with me was you need to dry that out and crystallize it, and that is a smokable material. And he said, yeah, that's because I was talking to a couple of people about that, and that's kind of one of the things that came up in topic. But that's what it was my feeling on it. That's because I was interested in, well, if the sludge is there, if it had the DMT in it, it's got to still have some DMT in it, if not a higher percentage, based on the fact that it's still the sludge. So dry that out and powder it, and lo and behold, I'm thinking that would be a perfect combination. That's what I was saying. I wish I had some smokable DMT alongside the ayahuasca, and would have been different. But right now, my vote, although ayahuasca is very gentle, excuse me, getting you there. Of course, you have that puking urge and what have you, but that's easily overcome. But for me, the actual smoking of it is, one, instant over the other side, and two, no nausea, no worries about that. So, I mean, they both have their benefits. I can see the benefits of ayahuasca being a very slow walk into it, so you're not overwhelmed. Not that you would be anyway with smoking it. It's the way I prefer it anyway. Hey, I'm going on the ride. I want to get on the ride now. I don't want to wait in line for an hour. But that's what ayahuasca does, is it gently walks you into it. And, it's the exact same DMT. It creates the same. You can see everything. It's beautiful. I just didn't get a chance to see much, that's all. So there was my experience. You there, Mike? Did I lose you? Hello?
No,
Anybody?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
in reflecting mode, just listening.
Yeah, it wasn't a letdown, but it wasn't a pickup either, right? It was very neutral. That's all I can say, and no harm to anyone, like to the gentleman that brought it. It was new for him, and I said to him, we got the advantage now of knowing the dose for the next time that you're doing this with people, so you can get them over the threshold, especially yourself, myself, and a few others that might take a little bit more to get pushed over, right? But because you've had ayahuasca experience, yes?
No, I haven't. I've had. Oh, okay. I haven't drank in the brew, but I've done. I was sitting in my jungle one time with a empty pipe, because I sat down and said, "Oh, it's time to do some DMT," and sat in the jungle, put the lighter to my pipe, and realized it's empty. And then had the reminder, Mike, it's all here. So I went through the motions, hit my pipe. Within a second, I was through. And then I met this shaman who had come to me up in the mountains. But I had this slight hesitation of fear, and he disappeared. And in an instant, this guy appeared next to me, and he shared with me the other brew from South America. And it's not a brew, it's the one where they'll shoot it up your nose. It's another one of the...
Oh, yeah, that'd be the real potent stuff, because you're dealing with light receptors right in the tunnel straight to the pineal gland. If you look at the angle of your nose, it's angled right to the pineal. That's why it's called a nose. The nose. You know what I'm saying?
So this guy appeared next to me in the jungle so quick, and before I could even hesitate or get the fear, because I said, "Yeah, I remember this, and I'm not fearful. I'm here. I'm ready." And in that instant, man, he was next to me in the jungle doing this, and away we went. And when I came back, the chuckle was, I looked at my pipe, and it was, "Yep, Mike, there was nothing in there." And that's the beauty of it. And in a way of this, I need to practice this again. And it was that knowledge, that inner knowing that you can really, if it's your moment to tune in and do this, it will come. And people are having these experiences again without doing DMT or ayahuasca. They're just maybe not aware. Man, I had this really magical, mystical experience. I don't know what happened. I was like, yeah, it was your moment. It was your moment to shine.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing too, is these plants or whatever, they're just the guides to remind you that you can do this anyway. and that's a lot of this too. I can go back to any of the moments that I've had and be there and re-experience it in its full state, knowing what is there, right? This not what was there, what is there. And this is the really, really neat part. And the best part of the story is I came back with a proper get me across the threshold brew of ayahuasca. So we're not done yet, kids.
Right. So like even in that experience, Kate, and this was, how long ago, so-called in time, 15 years, 10 years, over 10 years ago, easily. and it was working up to that for me. And I've had many experiences since then. But that reminder always was there. It's like this magic, this mystical, this, and I would say it's a breath away.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was going to say, Sarah nailed it. Tune that dial ever so slightly, and that's exactly what we got to do. And that dial is contained within you. And one of the things that I have found through my own experiences of late is it was inside you all along, Dorothy. All you had to do was click your heels. But here's the joy of it, because once you know what's there, and this was a big realization for me, what's there on the other side, which is not the other side, it's right here. It's just it's right there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And the joke is, because of the Luciferian construct, you can't see it because that's the veil. That's the poison light that I've talked about for the last couple of years. You know, this whole sun god worship, Rav. Oh, please.
Okay, here's where it's coming clear. Because when you tune in with this, and this is why I'm talking about the skin, when you tune in with this, you really tune into no separation. It's like that so-called space that you thought existed between you and anything is gone. And it's this, you're back into this really intimate relation where it's just, there's no, this, you're beyond that false light. And so again, you're recognizing this, oh man, I can't even describe it. What I'm getting at is there's something related to our skin. Our skin breathes. Our skin takes in light. It's not just our eyes. So this is what, when we talk about the healing power of touch, that, you know, skin to skin, that feeling that we share. And then when you do some of these, or have the chance or a remembrance with these integens, and you transcend that so-called boundary, that veil is no longer there. You remember you're living in this where there's no boundaries again. There's no sense of self in terms of I'm here and you're there. No, remember how we have this sense of personal space here? You're invading my space. Well, when you do that, you transcend that whole paradigm. And it's tuned in right with, as you're sharing, Kate, this false light, you can tag it this Luciferian light that, well, allowed us to experience this one part of ourselves. Let's not talk so negative. We don't have to talk negative about it, and you're not. You're just, sharing. And there's something that's so close with that. It's skin close, Kate. It's touching you. How can something touching you get any closer? And it's the idea that even if your finger's touching your skin, that there's so-called still space between there. So how is that so-called false light still sliding in between there, even when I'm touching myself? But when I speed up my vibration, or we tune in with the entheogens or nature, that veil disappears, and no, there is no space. There is no distance between any of us, and that's whether my hands are holding my hands, or you're way so-called over there and I'm here. There's that time and space sense of separation is gone.
Well, yeah.
I'm home. This is when we do it, it's like, man, I'm home. We're here.
And that's the good part about this, too, is the heart of all creation's got this. What makes you think you can outcreate that? Really, that's kind of arrogant. So I simply accept all things. And I got to say, I had lots of great discussions. We had a gut-busting, laughing good time yesterday afternoon. There was myself, I think, four or five others, just sitting around. And what I was trying to explain to them is, start looking at yourself and start understanding the cosmic joke. And every time I would say, and now back to our regularly scheduled program, hey, get a load of me. Won't you get a load of me? Starring me. It took them a while to finally figure out that it wasn't me I was talking about. That's what I want them to say. Won't you get a load of me? And when I got to tell you, when that concept finally clicked with them, it's like, Oh my, yes. You see, there's no need to want to be a star in the physical reality because you already are a superstar in your own. You just had somebody else let somebody else define your reality that somehow you weren't, and I'm just here to remind you that you are.
You know the saying, it's only skin deep?
Yes.
Man, I'm dancing all around this today. I'm going to crack this cake. We're cracking this code, this last so-called code to the matrix that appears as a separation, that this false light that slows down, and this is the illusion that we talk about, that it gives this appearance of duality, because we're sensing that there's another light, but we're in a way, like you said, we're only in a way conscious of this false one. Our attention has been attuned to that, and now that it isn't, it's coming clear. We're like, oh my, there is a difference here, and people are expressing this in different ways, and here we are, and it's this discernment without paranoia in terms of this Luciferian light.
One of the things that was there for me yesterday was that when I could look at somebody, and as soon as I closed my eyes, I could see them and the energies that were around them. And it was really, for me, it was very profound, because it was like I was taking these snapshots before I closed my eyes, and there they were with the eyes closed, but the energies of who and what they were was just just for a brief second, so I could see what energies were operating around them. Really hard to describe.
Really,
but it was
cool.
It was very, very interesting. Hey, how's it going? Finally got you.
Hey.
Yeah, we lost you for a second there.
Am I here?
Yeah, 541. There you are.
Kate.
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Oh my God, this is Kiler Davenport. How you doing?
Hey, Kiler, how the hell are you, man?
My God, I can't believe I got in. I'm like sitting here going, what the hell? Am I talking to myself or what? My God, I'm so proud of you, Kate. I just called to say that I'm so proud of you. I just can't.
We're having fun, my friend.
I can't even. No, listen to me, damn it. Listen, you are so wonderful. You know, I've gone through so many conversations about you and so many debates about you, and I've talked to so many damn people that have said, if you're friends with Kate of Gaia, we're going to delete you from our life. And I said, well, fuck you. Go ahead and just hit the delete button. It's like they're like, well, Kate's this and Kate's that and Kate's a bitch and Kate's a know-it-all and Kate's blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, look. Listen to me, dummy. Kate is a genius. Kate is passionate. Kate has intent. Kate is she's one that studies. She's one that is focused. She's one that digs beneath the surface of this current reality. And I said, Kate has taught me a lot. And they love our story about you cursing me out that day on air, and
wasn't that great?
And you and I having this bitch fight. I love it. Yeah, but they don't understand. They don't understand.
I know.
They just don't. They just don't get it. It's like with them, that's the end of the world. That's the end of the relationship. And, I've been working on my own station. I've got 1.2 million in my listening audience now. I've built my own station. I'm a SAM Broadcasting licensed broadcaster, blah, blah, blah. With that and a dime, you get a cup of coffee. But I just came on to thank you tonight for all the damn hard work that you're doing and all the shit you've gone through and all the hardships and all the bullshit. And, you have just overwhelmed people. And that video I listened to today was unbelievable, incomprehensible about Michael sent it to me about people and birth certificates and bowing to the system and the spelling and the fraudulent municipalities. And I mean, people really need to listen to you, but everyone is so blinded and so confused and so downtrodden and so beat up, and I know that you're reaching many of them, and we are too. And I've taken a lot of your stuff and taken it to my psychology and what I'm doing. But I just want to thank you. I love you, Kate. I mean it.
Damn
it. Fuck everybody. Screw everybody. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use the word FUCK.
It's okay. You can do whatever you want here.
Well, screw everybody out there that is jealous of you and who hates you for what you were doing to wake America up, to wake the world up. You are an inspiration to me, and I've been in this business. You know me. You know where I come from. I'm a former agent. You know what I've done.
You're a
you
tiger, baby.
Where I've
you got the claws and the fangs. It's all good.
Yeah, but you're one of the very few people that understand. Even though when you and I come together, it's like you do know where I've been and you know what I've gone through. But you are an inspiration to the world, Kate. You are an inspiration to the world, Kate.
Well, I got to say, I will most humbly say thank you, and that is the intent. And I can only equate it to people this way. It's when you have this thing that you see, that you've been a part of, that you know is the key that sets humanity free. I'm sitting around watching people slicing their spiritual wrists. And here's my passion. I want to make sure that you know of this, because if the tables were turned and you knew what I know, I would only hope that you would think to do the same for me, and I would only hope that you would beat me up to the point where I'd wake up.
Let me stop this music. Music just started playing on my damned. Okay, there it is, gone. Oh my God, that was weird. Like an orchestra started playing over your voice.
We had a lot of that this weekend. We even had an empty lighter set itself on fire on the little ayahuasca table that was set up. I'm not kidding. And it burned a heart in the tabletop.
Kate, let me ask you something. You know what a seasoned broadcaster I am. You know what a seasoned host I am. I've been around for a long damn time. What has kept you going through all, and I wink, 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 through all of your suffering and your inner pain, everything that you've gone through? What has kept you on this course? That's what I want to know.
There's only one thing that's kept me on this course, and it's one thing I always knew as a child. And as tacky as it sounds, it's because I love you. And I would only hope that you would do the same for me. And that's all this is. If I'm not willing to do it for you, then how the hell can I expect anybody to be willing to do it for me? And this is how I see my mirror. And one of the things I found, especially lately, with the little trips to the other side, if you will, or actually, I don't want to call it the other side. It's right here around you. It surrounds you in this most beautiful, incredible light and love. It really does. And when you start having the eyes to see it, and you start seeing it without needing a little, ethnogenic push, you're already in heaven. We're bringing heaven here. And again, that's all it boils down to. It really is that tacky. It is that altruistic. It is that simple. And it is that unbelievable. And the only answer I have, the only one that, and as soon as you ask that, the first thing that comes to mind is because, and I mean this in the most unconditional way, I love you. And I will love you to the point where if it takes you to hate me to understand this, I love you that much. So please, hate me all you need to finally get this. And then when you do, then you'll understand where I'm coming from, and then you'll be just as passionate and just as bitchy and just as, we got to get this done as I am. And that's really all there is to it.
I've seen you change over the time that I've known you, and I've seen you metamorphosize. And believe me, I've been watching you. You know me. When I set my sights on something, you've became somewhat of a mentor to me, and that is saying a lot for Kiler Davenport. And
I would say, yeah, and vice versa. Everyone's my mentor. You're someone that I really look up to, though, now, and I really respect, full with a capital R, respect. And I'm still wanting to know one thing for my own life and my own walk and my own path on Facebook and my shows. I still talk about my undercover work and my special ops work around the world and people dying and people suffering and so forth and so on and blah, 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 and the fear porn and all the other things. You seem to have taken somewhat of a turn to be more understanding to people like me who are not just full of bullshit, but who have really walked down that PTSD path of hell
and who have come back and started respecting people like you and learning from people like you, you seem to have matured in that way. I've noticed that.
Well,
I've noticed that you.
I learned how to make everyone right, and it wasn't by me getting someone to change their perspective. It was because I was able to change mine, to show them how right they are from a completely different perspective. And I'll tell you something, the ego cannot argue with that. It's beautiful. It's a perfect ego trap because I can show everyone how perfect and how right they are. And that's going back, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, I've had some pretty profound holy shit moments. So it's like, and of course, going back a week ago to my getting thrust into the halls of a mentee experience, actually a week ago yesterday. And, at 1:10 a.m. Saturday morning, I was a completely different entity than I was at 1:11 a.m.
Yeah. 1
minute later, completely different. And yeah, you're right. I mean, and we've talked about this. It's funny you mention this. We've talked about this over the last few weeks of, how much, if I go back a year, and I've talked about our shows and stuff, we go back a year and a half, and I get to look at myself and have a really good laugh at how dramatic the whole thing was. And, working, and it's about working through these things. And when you can look back and say, this is the work that needed doing, there's no guilt, there's no remorse, there's nothing.
This is going to sound so crazy, but you know me and you both, or who gives a damn, you seem to have become somewhat more protective of people like me who have been behind the lines and died and suffered with so many people and walked through the killing fields. You seem to have become, and I guess that I could call that maturity or evolution instead of devolution, somehow. And I've noticed this, Kate, over the last few weeks, that you've become more understanding of people like me who have walked in the blood and guts and the gore, and you seem to be more understanding and that just really turned me on, Kate. That really turned me on.
Well, I had to see the contrast within myself, right? And this is, I think, one of the things we share here a lot is not getting caught up in the moment, but having a look back at the contrast of how you would have done something before versus how you would do it now. And when you see that contrast, then you see the value in the drama, because now you've got something to contrast against it. And you get to see yourself on the ladder and go, wow, look how high I've climbed for myself. And then you have the notion that I can climb even higher. It's freaking awesome.
Well, what you have done for me, Kate, and Alternative Public Radio International, DestinyRadioNetwork.com, Revolution Radio, which said, of course, they would never have you back on, and I'm arguing with them. This morning, we were having a big argument with the producers, is that you are so mature, and you are so staunch, and you are so intelligent, and you really study what the hell you're doing. You're not just out here blowing something off. You're not some new age guru who's trying to get a bunch of followers. You're just telling it like it is. You've got the research, you've got the backing, you've got the intelligence, the skill, the experience to do what you're doing. I mean, my God, I see you as the Barbara Walters who should be the real Barbara Walters, not the Barbara Wawa that just goes on and spouts a bunch of mainstream bullshit. But you are becoming such a commentator. I mean, God, I feel so starstruck. I mean, do you even know what you know? Fuck, no, listen to me. Damn it. Did you ever think I would be talking like this?
No, but that's okay. It's all good. It's, you see,
well, look how far, Kyle. Look how far you've come, because it's mirror
exactly.
To show you.
No, and I have, and Kate's brought me this way. Kate doesn't know it. Don't tell her. Shut up, everybody.
No, don't tell me anything. I might actually develop a fluffy or something.
Kate doesn't know it, but I have been following her for months. And I've been looking, I've been reading, I've been thinking, I've been pondering, I've been praying, I've been meditating. And she is the real deal, I mean, she is. Kate of Gaia is the truth. There is no way around it. You can logically look at it. You can put the mathematics to it. You can put the quantum physics to it. You can put the new quantum mechanics to it. Kate has got it, okay? I don't know how she got it. I don't know why she got it. I don't know where she got it, but she got it. And everybody needs to frickin' sit down and chill out and listen, Kate.
Well, I can tell you, they don't even have to listen anymore because, actually what I'm thinking of doing is, you're probably familiar with the Babylon's Fallen document.
Yes.
Yes. That's the culmination of 4.5 years of work in one page. And what I was thinking of doing is writing an accompanying layman's essay and basically write an allegory that anyone can understand to give them the biggest possible picture of their own reality. And and Kiler, like this stuff that we talk about is so impossibly difficult to get across because so many times these concepts just don't have the words for them, and it takes me a while to formulate and go, okay, how the hell do I explain this? And I have fought for so long just to figure out a way to explain these incredibly simple concepts that, if we weren't looking, we'd look, and we've been looking over these things. Like I look at right up to the point of Babylon is Fallen, writing that, and all of the steps to get there, with the Phoenician, finding the magic in the real magic of the Yellow Brick Road, where this was so hard. But I tell you, this weekend, showing a few words to people, I cannot describe what it feels like to look in someone's eyes when that light goes boom, and I'm thinking, you got it, and I'm going, yeah, and they're going, wow,
yes,
wow.
But you explain it, Kate. You explain it so simplicity is your game, I've noticed lately. You explain it so simplistically that people can understand it. You're not giving people some complex quantum formula or something, E equals MC and the constant is light and so forth and so on, waveform theory of gravity. You're explaining it as it is, and really no one can thwart what you're saying, Kate. I've looked at it. I've tried my best to make you wrong.
Well, that's what I want people to do.
And I'm getting my degree in quantum physics. I'm getting my degree in quantum physics, and I have an IQ of 160, and with that and a dime, I can maybe get into Starbucks and get a cup of coffee. But what you're saying is quantum physics. What you're saying is hard science. What you're saying has been proven. What you're saying is being proven at this very moment in time in quantum physics. All I can say is you're a prophet. You're a seer. You're one who sees, and that's it.
I simply accept that which is, and I don't doubt creation like I used to. And now, and this is all, guys, lay back in the arms of Mama, Papa. The heart of creation's got, and this is all I've been trying to share with people. But I'll tell you, this construct that we've been in has been so difficult. For so many, we've all had the shit beat out of us. There's no question. And I think if there is an advantage I have is I'm from the street. I speak street. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to sound like I'm talking technical. I don't want to sound like some intellectual whatever, because that's not what I am. I'm a musician, for crying out loud, and that's how I see things, through the muse, through the and we had such an incredible. I was able to show people the actual rhythm of nature, like in August Rush, and it was a beautiful little dog, Jack, was licking Mary's leg, and everyone's gathered around looking at the dog, and I said, guys, you're missing this. I need just listen to the perfect rhythm of this dog in complete sync with nature, because it doesn't know any better, so it must be. And
432 hertz.
And then they heard the beats, and it was just tick, 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 and all the birds, everything was in perfect rhythm with it, but they heard the common beat, and it was like the eyes got wide like kids at Christmas. It was beautiful, and you got to experience nature through a dog simply just licking someone's leg in perfect, absolutely perfect time. I've been in the studio. You cannot get more perfect time than that, because you don't hear it, you feel it. It's just
Kate, have you been able to realize your maturity though over this period of time that I've noticed from the outside, from the observer looking into the experiment, which is Kate of Gaia. I mean, explain to us how you have been able to. I would say off the cuff that you've just flowed into it and not been able to totally realize it. But have you noticed the maturity that's coming to you?
I got into the groove of nature, and that's what this table has been about. I mean, this is why all of us that gather here, I get to be the co-creation of everyone and everything I experience. So
yes.
In as much as I am creating my reality, I'm also being co-created within that reality as it's defined by others. But here's the thing, we all get a chance to stay neutral and perfectly individual in that without anyone's free will or choice or whatever being trespassed on, which is pretty astonishing. Now, just to let you know, I think it's Colleen in here, and I think it might be Stephen from British Columbia in here with us as well. So let's get this table wide open, Kiler.
I wanted to apologize.
No. Kiler, no, I want you to sit in here.
I love y'all so much.
We're all together here. So, no, and when people are talking, if you got answers, please jump in. It's like yes, I've been off for 2 nights, lazy slack bitch that I am, but, how dare I take 2 nights off this year? Unbelievable. What a slacker. Yeah. But anyway, just to let you know and let them know that the board's open and this is wide open. I got to tell you, Kiler, it's awesome to have you. And I'll tell you, there was only a few people in my universe that I thought would ever have cojones to just be and come back and hang out and know that you're perfectly and everyone's always welcome here. And it'll be you. And Max Egan was the other one too. So there you go. And you're actually a lot of people that are tuned in tonight are very familiar with our beautiful rant nights, and very few people have got my goat to that level. So congratulations, Kiler, well done. And because you gave me perspective to look, and I get a chance to experience me. It's pretty cool. Colleen, how are you?
Hi, Kate. Hi, everyone. Hey,
Aloha.
Kiler,
Hi.
welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back in a new body, a new spirit, a new form.
Okay, when we recognize that the light is coming from our heart, from inside, and it's almost like when we pass through that barrier of the skin, this last atmosphere, we forget that it's the inner light shining, and then we're once again thinking that the light is coming to us instead of being from inside of us. And this is kind of where we talk about flipping the script. And as we're now sitting at, home again, this is coming so clear. I'm very thankful.
Yeah, that's interesting, Mike, and that Kiler's on because Kate had talked about that a year and a half or so ago, and that was about the sun and how many of us were sun gazing. And Kate gave the example of maybe flipping that and seeing that the sun is getting energy from all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so this is where me and Steve were taking it after the show, after the transmission last night. And so as the sun rises in one way, or nature gives you your gifts. Sun rises, you get your so-called intent for the day. Now, don't think of that as the beginning, but now as the sun is going down, you give it back. And this is part of the circuit that I think, because we get caught up with the false light, we forget to return the gift to us. Say that exchange. You go, here's what I did today with that knowledge that was shared. Here's my experience. So we always talk about God experiencing Himself. I think we've been forgetting to do is to return it. Return it.
No. The other thing I wanted to say, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, the other caller, but the other thing I wanted to say, time is so important, and I don't want to go into my quantum physics because I went to bed last night and almost lost my mind. Kate can understand this probably only. I went into the spin of fucking quantum physics, and I'm like, oh my God, help me get back to some kind of normality, whatever that is. But Kate has brought something quantifiable and qualifiable and real and something that we can all step upon Mother Earth and believe in some reality of intent and focus. There's so many things going on today that are just way out there. And I've seen Kate metamorphosize and transform to this new person of solidity and balance, and this is the way I believe it is. You know, you don't have to believe it. And that's one of the great things that I admire about Kate. She doesn't force these things down other people's throats. She doesn't tell people, you must believe this, or Kate just puts it out there, and you can either take it or, I was going to say some bad words, leave it. And that's what I admire about Kate. You know, she is so sweet, so loving, so caring. I just want to go hug her neck and kiss her right now on the cheek. I just want to go where she is. But, I mean, so many people are forcing things, like religion is forcing things down people's throats and trying to sell them this and that and the other, and, you know, beat your head on the Quran, beat your head on the Bible, beat your head on the Book of the Dead, and beat your head on the Bhagavad Gita. I mean, Kate says, look, this is what it is. This is how it lays out. You can do the research for yourself. Take it or leave it. And I've studied Kate, I've looked at Kate, I've listened to all of her words, and it works. It works. So maybe Kate is the New Age prophet. Whatever, don't get mad at me.
No, it's okay,
Maybe
Kiler, because everyone here knows that this is a table of equals, and it's always with the utmost humility. For me, what this is for me more than anything else is confirmation that the truth is there, so I get to accept it even stronger. This is how everything...
Don't you, Kate, know how hard... Tell these people how hard I am and how, you know...
Oh, yeah, you're...
Hey, I've been sitting here for the past hour, man. Let's just stroke each other's fucking egos here. Come on, buddy. This is fucking terrible, man. Who is this geezer, Mr. Davenport?
Oh, chill out, hang on.
Mate. And you're just talking the biggest lot of fucking shite I've ever heard, mate. I'm not saying any more. You're doing my fucking nothing.
Paul, relax, man. I get it. I know where Kyler's coming from, and it's from a 0 point. I get it. It's all good. And, again, I'm listening to it from only the perspective that we're all getting it. We're finally getting it. It's nothing to do with me.
Wrong?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I was actually just going to ask these guys how it went last night, the night before, because I haven't had a chance to listen. How did you guys have? Did you have fun or what? Hello, Paul? Anybody? Oh, we lost Michael.
It was good.
Good.
I'm in a very good place at the moment, Kate. I've got some troubles just now, so I'm not really want to speak in.
Okay.
You know? Nothing to do with you, Kate. I love you bits, but I'm not in a good place, pal.
Okay, no problem. It's all good. That's why we're here. So if you need to hash it out, this is the table to do it at. Let's get this energy cleared up for you.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too. I really would. I would love to know this particular part of the puzzle.
Well, you know, Kate, I was just going to remind Kiler that there are no pedestals at this table either.
No, not at all.
And I know where Kyler's coming from. But just a reminder, and I know that you know, you feel the same, Kate. No pedestals.
Again, this is all neutral, and all I'm hearing is the confirmation that we're on the right track. It's got nothing to do with me, right? Because the truth is that
no. Kate knows that Kate and I have a history that you all don't know about. And so Kate and I are coming from a different perspective in time and space with that particular matrix. And that's just what I've been saying. That's all. Kate and I are coming from a different perspective,
very different realities. And
because Kate knows where I used to be. Kate knows where I used to be.
I was there too, Kiler, from the beginning.
Yeah, and she knows how deep and dark that was.
Yeah.
Coming from my killing background and my assassinate background and all of my special ops, and she knows that I'm coming out, and she knows that we're here for a reason. Synchronistically, may I say that word? Is that good?
It's all about coincidences.
And I don't know why this other person got upset. I will bring that out as the Kiler Davenport that I am. I don't know why this other person got upset that I would be feeling such good and happiness and harmony and balance from my PTSD that Kate has brought me out of. Why would this other person be so upset?
Well, it's all good. Again, I mean, I totally get it, and I know where it's coming from, and it's all neutral. This is the neat thing about this. I get to sit back all the time in complete objectivity without any emotional attachments to anything. And really, if there is one emotional attachment, it's to know that I'm doing my job. That's all I'm here to do, and that's been the focus, heavy-duty focus for the last week, going to the other side, getting ripped and stripped spiritually, and being in that complete, just full surrender mode of whatever I need to do, whatever I need to experience, whatever needs to be cut, ripped, shredded, I don't care, able to do what I'm here to do. That's all.
But, Kate, I surely don't think there's anything wrong with someone like me feeling teary-eyed.
No, I feel you. See, Kiler, I feel your shoulder. No one is walking in front or behind anybody here. We're walking shoulder to shoulder. So I'm always walking in that sense that we're doing this together. And I get it. It's a shoulder to shoulder.
I felt a little bit attacked. That's all. I felt a little bit attacked a while ago, and I'm just saying, I'm being very light here. I felt a little bit attacked by what happened.
No, totally. I totally get that. It's all good. And just like Paul said, he's
it's all good.
Not in a great place. It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Paul's just kind of protective of the table, and that's a good thing.
Okay,
it's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last night, Colleen sang a beautiful. I'm not. If it was a mantra, I'm not sure. Kate, I don't think you got to hear it, but I wanted to ask Colleen, what was it really saying? I mean, I don't understand. I know it's a mantra, but I really wanted to know the dynamics of it, because I believe in mantras that they're healing. And
is this Fabian?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Fabian.
Hey.
Yeah, that was not last night, the night before.
I'm sorry. I'm a day behind.
That's okay. That was the Gayatri mantra. And the Gayatri mantra is considered to be the mother mantra, like the mantra that is vibrating throughout all the Vedas, all the ancient Sanskrit Hindu writing. And it's Gayatri is a symbol of the divine feminine and the earth. And so it's also honoring the Surya, which is the sun. So that mantra, I sang that one. That's one of the mantras that is one that I have resonated with and have done every day for 15 years. And that's what I was saying. The messages that I got, and it was a gift from my heart. It was the mantra. It was the energy of the mantra that you were feeling, and just the gratitude of being able to bring it through me.
Thank you, Colleen. I really appreciate it. That was beautiful. And of course,
thank you, Fabian.
I missed you, and a lot of people miss you, and whoever is from the past and coming back, it's all meant to be. We're all meant to be here together, so.
Yes.
You know, and I would like to say one thing, that I'm 57 years old. I have a degree, and I'm getting a degree in physics and sociology and history. And there's nothing wrong with me looking up to Kate. I looked up to my grandmother. She was a great woman. She was one of the greatest women I ever knew. I looked up to my mother. I loved her with all of my heart, soul, mind, spirit, and body. I respected her. I respected my father for all that he taught me around the campfire and around all the fishing trips and all the building barns and houses and working with life and limb and living and breathing and consciousness, and I respect Kate for that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. You know, you all might say, oh, well, we shouldn't have a sage, or we shouldn't have a guru, or we shouldn't have a leader. But, you know, Kate is someone that I respect highly, and I don't think that any of you should come down on me for feeling like I do. And I'm not saying, don't jump on me, I'm not saying that you are coming down on me. I'm just saying that Kate has been someone who I respect so dearly and so lovely and so sweetly. And I have come from a very difficult background of killing and maiming and harming and fighting for the United States government and secretly going undercover in all of these different situations. And Kate has really brought healing to me and love to me and balance to me, and I just think we should give her that due, and I don't think anything is wrong with that, damn it, at all. Not anything at all. That's all I,
And you're healing. Your words are healing also because of your experiences for people like me who've never had that kind of experience. Like Mike says, things come from the heart. And I think, you're sharing something special. So good for you, and I appreciate it. And I'm sure there are many others that would like to say the same thing. So, but
you brought
beautiful, Fabian, and just like you shared from your heart, that's what we do here at the table. Everybody shares from the heart. Everybody throws out their gems on the table, and if it resonates with you, beautiful. And if not, that's beautiful too.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very simply this. I mean, we all get to partake of this table, and everything that comes to this table is shared equally by all. So, I mean, this is the joy of this, because I know that as a result of us collectively gathering all the time, I am the co-creation, and also I get inspired by those around me, and vice versa. It's, how did I equate it? It's like this. When I was talking to Chris the other day, we talked about him having breakthroughs, and then, of course, I had that breakthrough, which top of the mountain, having a look around. But that's the joy of that is great. Now I have some tools to help you. So where I'm standing, I get to reach and pull you up, and you get to spiritually leapfrog me. And if we're leapfrogging each other, nothing stops this. It doesn't matter who gets there first. What matters is that we get there, and that's all. Right? You are already the star in your universe. You're a natural-born superstar. And this I know, and I can't drill this into people enough. And it's like, and you guys get this. So anything accolades or anything that you share to this table are everyone's. This is the joy of this. We are all sitting at the same table, at the same level, and we all have, I've said this many times, we all have our spiritual, crazy awesome spirit tricks and our crazy awesome physical gifts, right? Excuse me. And what's happening now is I get to see so many more people stepping into their, like, oh, get a load of you. And I love, more than anything else, I love when people step into their power and I go, yeah, told you were right. And you knew this all along. I'm just here to remind you that as much as you are here to remind me of the same. So I get to be the reflection of my own cause and effect, which is kind of where
synchronistically,
zero is. Yeah.
I was just going to say, synchronistically, the cells balance in the body. We started with a single-celled organism with this so-called singularity, which expanded out, and now we're experiencing entropy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The theories are changing day by day, night by night, second by second. But yet there are people here who we admire. There are people here who we adore. There are people here who we listen to. There are gurus and there are sages and there are teachers, Machiavellian, Aristotle, Plato. We go on and on. This is where our consciousness comes from, and we take and we give and we eliminate through that formula. And Kate, to me, is really one of those people that has filtered through all of that and came to some conclusions that we really appreciate and we really adore. And I think that that's important. I don't think that we should.
Agreed.
I went up to an Occupy movement one day with an interview with the radio station, and I asked the leader. There was like 78 people there, 79, 80 people. Somebody counted, and I said, "Who's the leader here?" And they said, "No one." And I said, "Well, who's getting the fucking donuts?" And they said, "Well, no one." And I said, "Who's getting the coffee?" "No one. We're all getting the coffee." I said, "Well, who's the person in charge here?" They said, "No one. We're all in charge." And I said, "No, this
Perfect.
is impossible. Impossible." And then I finally found, after 4 meetings with these people, I finally found the leader. Oh my God. And they all denied it. They were like, "Oh, this person couldn't be that. Oh my God, this person's not the leader. They're just someone who. And I was like, "Well, are they the leader or not?" And they're like, "Yes, they are." So that's how I see Kate. It's not like we don't have to follow Kate. We don't have to go with Kate. We don't have to agree with Kate. We don't have to love Kate. We don't have to even think that she's sane. But she's someone that I've chosen to listen to and admire, and I'm even taking it to my stations, and I'm putting her on my stations all over the world as of next week. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I may be out of line talking in this particular way, but I just don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think Kate is reaching the people that we need to reach, and especially the children and the young adults, and she's teaching people that they can take back their life, take back what was originally given to them. Huh?
It was always yours. It was always yours, and we got duped out of it, and that duping is now over, because
yes.
What you were saying there the other night about the other night trying to stop thinking whatever. That's what I refer to as going fractal. It's like, okay, yes, time to shut that down and get into the peaceful space. And one of the things too that I cherish more than anything else now, and that's my solace, my solitude, and my ability just to be quiet. And it's never easy to do when you're around a lot of people. So I did get a little bit of solace this weekend, but that was the one thing that I was, if anything, longing for. And I get a lot of solace at this table, even though we're talking and what have you. But this is an opportunity where we come to the table on equal terms and we can share these things wide open. We throw the shit on the table and we pick through for the gems. We don't keep piling shit on shit. We just, I've said this before. I mean, I am a co-created version of someone who has just looked and cherry-picked the best of the best and, assembled those things as it pertain to me, as it pertains to the truth that we're all seeking within ourselves. And that's it. I mean, so this is why for anyone to take any form of credit for anything is actually taking away from all creation. I simply accept the fact that I am part of that creation, and I'm just playing my role and having a really good time finally doing it, watching people around the world get this, oh my, the legal name, without that, nothing can touch me. The vampires and werewolves can't feed. Yeah, it's that simple. That's your soul contract over. And all you got to do is get that concept. Stay the course on it, and the truth shall set you free. I mean, all the teachers said that. I'm just regurgitating a really good idea. That's all. Stand in the truth. Hey, I can't take credit for that, because we all can, because we all know that. Stand in the truth, it will set you free. It will put the shields up around you. And, it's like this. If you stand in line with the universe and the universal truth, the golden rule, well, guess what you get in the mirror? The universe stands with you. I think that's a pretty good deal. I think that's a really good arrangement, and I think it's perfect. So that's where I stand. And I accept.
Kate, would you agree that you have a Type A personality like me, and that you're?
Oh yeah, over the top. Yep. You're
very on the ball. You're very upfront and confronting, and that you're very focused and intent. Yes.
Overly so. I mean, that was one of the things that I was talking about this weekend, was make a deliberate attempt as soon as I meet someone new to go up and poke to see where, okay, what am I dealing with here? What program is running, right? Because it's pretty safe to assume that anyone you meet that's still in the physical reality, not really understanding who they are yet, excuse me, they're still going to be running programs. So I know they're perfect. I know they're perfect. So that's easy. That's a gimme. So what I do is I look for I pick up my spiritual squeegee and I go and I poke to see where the shit is on the window. And as soon as I see it, then I can start squeegeeing it. And then there you are. Told ya. Look at how perfect you are.
You know, my final phases here in my academia with quantum physics is to learn that our cells are both receivers and transmitters of their own nationality, their own nation, their own people, their own collective, and that they do so well together, you know, within the body, making organs and so forth. And we came from a cell to an amoeba, and then we transferred on, and we duplicated ourselves in duplicity, and then we became these conscious organisms that we are, these conscious beings that we are. Kate, how do you equate that with evolution and devolution? I mean, how do you equate that? I mean, it's so fantastic that we came from these one-celled organisms to what we are today, and how complex is this, and how is the average person able to deal with this, or are they dealing with this at all? Yeah.
Well, when you look at the physical construct that has been placed here, I mean, for me, my feeling is the original intent would have the physical and the spiritual able to merge, and that's what we're doing now. Is we're finally merging these in perfect balance, where it's the best of both worlds, if you will. And again, we can get into the technicals of, you know, consciousness being the one consciousness that split itself into two, as represented in nature. Remember, everything is a fractal. Right. So if consciousness did it, nature does it. That's the mirror. So all I see are, you know, in terms of a cell splitting, is the all-knowing dividing itself into an all-unknowing. And, of course, to complete the quad there, the four parts, the all-unknowing would have the power of creation, life, and the all-knowing would have all the consciousness without the life, right? So it's bringing these together to merge them. And really, we've got two diametrically opposed truths. One can be called a lie, one can be called a truth, and vice versa. Because the truth to one who seeks it from the benevolent side would be deemed a lie to those seeking it from the malevolent side. So really, it's just the ebb and flow. And what we're doing is finally getting into that center ground where the merging of the two worlds, the best of both worlds, start coming together, where it's not conflict, it's a unity, you know. So, and it goes even deeper than that, but I mean that's just a very general overview of it. Just one little shout out to Mike Davino. Your posts rock, man. I never consider anything you put up as fear porn, ever, because I know where you're coming from, and you're making beautiful illustrations. So keep up the great work. Always welcome on my page, Mike. Go ahead, Kiler.
Hey, Kate.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to say hi. I just wanted to say also, with Paul, he is his little nephew isn't doing real well tonight too. So, you know, that was part of it.
He's got a lot on his plate right now, and he's been going through a toothache there for about a week, and no, it's all good. I'm going to sit here and make excuses for Paul. I understand, and he comes.
Yeah, I'm just sharing that, and also because
totally.
You know he's part of the table, and you know protective of the pedestal and the you know that
making
whole
sure
energy.
it's a level keel. Yep,
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So thank you, Paul, if you're listening.
Thank you, Paul. You see, and that's the joy of this table too, because that just tells me that you know it's yours.
Yes.
That's the real match.
Thank you, Paul.
You know, we all this is our table. You know, we all sit at it equally, and this is the thing. And when what the intent of this table is to share truth. Oh yeah, you're going to have the true warriors of truth standing to post, and they will not yield. And that's the joy of this. And I like I said, I haven't been online. I literally got back 45 minutes before the show. So the whole way back was it's like, oh, great, Christmas. I get to see what everyone's been doing to change the world. It's awesome. And so I'm still waiting to get onto that, but I've had a chance to leaf through a few things, and yeah, it's beautiful. The world is changing.
Kate, how are people responding to you around you, your friends, your family, your acquaintances? How are they responding to your broadcasting and your philosophy and what you're doing online and with people?
Well, other than me just being an out-and-out mouthy bitch, it's all good. But that's the thing is my passion, knowing what I know, and the urge to get this information to people. Basically, their very souls depend on it. And again, I'm going to go right back to, wouldn't you do this for me? Wouldn't you be this passionate for me? And I'm just being you from this perspective of, yeah, I would be.
Yeah,
so
and I am.
And
yeah,
that's it.
People are responding like onions to a vampire garlic, whatever the hell it is. I mean, people are responding in many ways because I'm altering my approach in my shows around the world, and I'm starting to alter my thinking, which is what's called evolution, I believe, in our thinking. I'm starting to grow, and people are really enjoying that, and other people are just saying that I'm on crack.
Well, I get that a lot too, and that's okay, because people are allowed to have that based on their perspectives, and that's okay. I'm good with whatever people choose. That's the free will choice. I merely have the two questions: is that something I would do or something I wouldn't do? And walking away from truth. Here's the biggest joke of this. If the free man on the land or sovereign citizen, whatever the hell movement you want to call it, would actually twig on this notion, they'd understand that not one court case would ever need talked about again, that not one foreclosure, not one ticket or anything would ever happen again, because the only thing you've got two worlds going on here. You've got the fiction, which is an illusion. It's not real, operating a physical world, and here we are, a spiritual being that you can't really see, so it can be considered the fiction and illusion trying to operate in the physical as well. So it's two diametrically opposed things. But here's the neat thing: once you know this one master key, I mean, when you really know who you are, that you are not the legal name, you take all of that jurisdiction and it is destroyed instantly. And your soul contract is back. You've got yourself back. And no one can ever enter that realm again, because now you've got walls. And I say it allegorically. It's not like you're trying to build a box around it. This is exactly the opposite of what we do. But what you have is you have the universe standing too. That you've got everything in the universe working for you, because you're working for everything in the universe. It's really a pretty neat trade.
I've got you on beta tonight.
Okay.
Kate, and they're asking me some questions. Can I present them to you, please? What do we do with crime? What do we do with people that are violent and just evil and want to slash us up and cut us and steal our tires and our diamonds and slit our throats and cut our heads off in this anarchical situation that you're talking about?
The answer's easy. It really is easy. It's not one that people are going to like. What you're seeing in your society and in your reflection are the very things within you that you need to come to terms with and take responsibility for. And that's what we've been doing at this table for so long. And that's why, we're watching this beautiful reality take shape around us, being a cutting edge of the consciousness. Now, one of the things that I want to make clear, and it's a statistical fact, that the more police there are in a city, the more crime there is. So, and there's a couple of cities in the U.S. that don't have any police at all, and there is zero crime. So here's the thing about insurance. Insurance means unsure mind. So it works. Why do you buy insurance? Because you're not sure. You're doubting creation has the game. And that's the Luciferian mindset of trying to control the game where you don't need to. All you need to do is
here's another question coming in. I've got questions coming in from 4 countries. Should we be prepared to protect ourselves in the event that people do not understand this theory or concept or philosophy that you, Kate of Gaia, is projecting?
The only one that needs to get this concept is you. And once you sort your own universe out, this is why I tell people, stay the course. They, as people say, those out there are not your concern. Those are part of a construct that is defining your reality because you're allowing it to. As soon as you start defining your own reality, that's when things change around you.
So if someone comes into our house, my God, these are coming in. My God.
Okay,
so if someone comes
Kiler,
into our house and wants to kill our family, they're asking me this, Kate, for you to answer.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you exactly what.
Should we be prepared to defend ourselves?
Well, okay, then I would ask the question back, why are you putting it in your reality to create it? Because that is a real timeline that you'll pull into your own timeline. You're doing it to yourself with every thought and every contract. Every thought is a contract. So if you're constantly focused on that, then please expect it to happen because that's what you're pulling.
Right.
Creation will give you whatever you wish for. So maybe change your way of thinking. Maybe change, instead of having all of this fear porn reality that's been rammed down our throats from mainstream media, which was the intent to keep us thinking like that, change your mind on it and stop giving it energy. Because when you're putting any thought or energy towards that, that's what you're bringing into the creation.
This is one of my friends in San Diego that lives in the projects, and another East End friend who lives with MS-13 in Los Angeles says, can we change? And I've told him here, I just typed to him, yes, you can move. You can leave the reality. You can get away. He's there. He's in the gang. He's asking Kate of Gaia and Kiler Davenport, why? What do we do? Well, you leave. You just leave. You leave that reality. You don't keep feeding into it, right?
You cannot reason or rationalize with psychopathics and insane.
Right.
I'm sorry, and what I'm talking about are the people that could be in your family, could be your friends, could be people so caught up in the matrix. You are not going to I tell people all the time, I don't rationalize with insanity. I'll plant the seed and walk away.
Right.
I'm not here to change you. You're here to do that. You're here to change you. I'm here to change me. And in the process of changing me, lo and behold, my reality around me changes. And the more that energy you put into changing yourself, what you're doing is you're serving all by doing that. The reality around you will change when you do and not before it. That's a fact.
Another big question coming in here from Great Britain. What should we do? Let me read this correctly. They've misspelled everything. What should we do about the third world countries and the United States funding all of the killing around the world? Should we stop paying our taxes? Should we revolt? And if so, in what way? And should we just turn our heads as we have done for the last 2,000 years?
Here's a question. This is a question back. Okay, if you had a direct pipeline coming from your soul energy and feeding a dark principality. I'm going to be very general on this. Okay. How could you stop if you turned that spigot off to that dark principality? What's going to happen to it?
Die.
Right.
Die.
So here's the answer that will be very difficult for people to swallow. The mere fact that you are using the Whore of Babylon system with a legal name says that you think all of that harm is okay. If you're part of this system that is creating these wars, and I'm not talking just taxes here, I'm talking system at all. The legal name is the linchpin. Every contract is right to the name, the Narmer Palette name that has your soul bound until you say, I'm not part of that anymore. And the instant you step away from the system, you have literally cut that pipeline. And what I've noticed is the more people that are coming off that pipeline, a headline there a couple of days ago shows the effect we're having in such a short time is now druggies and prostitutes are going to be considered part of the UK economic system.
Yes, they are now.
That's what they're feeding on now. They're not feeding on the pure souls anymore. They're down to basically dumpster diving in terms of spiritual feeding. This is how starved they are. And everyone that decides to step into the truth, guys, it's already happening worldwide. And I don't know how many people are involved, but I'll tell you, it's not in the millions here. It's probably in the hundreds of people that get this concept. And this world is changing. This is the power of you. If you're feeding the beast that is slaughtering children in third world countries, then you're part of that problem. So make yourself the solution and stop feeding it. Period. All of it.
Here's another one for you. Came back from the same person. Oh, my God. How can we be so aloof and disconnected from our responsibilities that are outside of our comfort zones once we listen to Gaia? Wow.
Here's the answer. Here's the answer that's going to make you choke on your own words, my friend.
Wow.
Because the truth of the matter is you're not taking responsibility and you're still sucking up to your comfort zones because you think you can't operate without a legal name, and that's the very thing that's your razor blade that you're slicing your spiritual wrist with. So carry on, knock yourself out.
Agreed. Carry on, my God. Yes.
Go ahead. Knock yourself out because you will. I just stopped doing that. I stopped cutting my spiritual wrist by being part of the Whore of Babylon system and the mark of the beast called the legal name. And there's many variations of that allegory, but it fits perfectly with this. Go ahead, read Revelations and see if you can conduct commerce without the mark of the beast. Don't tell me it's coming. It's already been here for a very long time. Since the first Pharaoh, it's been here. Do you know how to hide something? By telling people it's not here yet while it's here in full force and effect. And the easiest way to sell people is give them such a big lie that they can't imagine falling for it, and make sure that it's something that's been done before over and over and over again, so you don't believe you can fall for the same dupe. And we all did. So it's time to get over it.
Kate, you know that the Bible says that when people come out, and finally wake up to this fact, and I'm just going to leave it at that. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into the show with it. It's like you're going to be persecuted, and I mean persecuted to hell and back. Well, how do you respond to that as far as, do you just have to take it? Do you just take it?
Well, see, that's the thing. To the degree that you understand this is why I'm telling people, just read Babylon Has Fallen over and over. Go to my essays page.
I am.
Well, I'm telling everybody, go to the essays page, cateofgaia.wordpress.com. Start reading at choices and read on down. Read it all. And I guarantee you're going to have some very profound shifts within you, because Sheridan, those are the aha moments that we've talked about for years. And now it's coming to a head in that Babylon Has Fallen, one document that has that has everything you need. That's why I say read all the essays and you get the background to it.
But, Kate, most people do not want to go through that suffering that I've seen you go through. I've seen you go through. Well, that's my point. You won't have to. Yeah.
You won't have to. This is the thing. That suffering is done. What you need to do, and I'm talking third party here, is simply look at it, take the time to see the truth, and when you really get this aha moment, you won't be persecuted at all because you're in the realm of the untouchable, at which point you're going to be saying, whoa, that was cool that people actually went through a ton of shit to get this. And then maybe you might have some gratitude for your own spiritual freedom, of which that's your thing. I don't need any accolades or applause because I already know what it is, and it's complete humility.
It's been my experience that most people who go through this suffering and this pain, they haven't totally got it, and they've gotten themselves in trouble by recontracting with the police or the municipality or the county or the state. They've actually brought. Please help me here, Kate. They've actually brought themselves back into the pain and the suffering by communicating with them and making contract with them. Is that
okay? Well, yeah, absolutely. And here it is for everybody listening. If a 7-year-old girl in the UK can get it and sum up the whole reality in 4 words, which I'll share in a second, maybe you can too. And those 4 words are simply this. This is the destroyer of the entire system. If you're talking to cops, bailiffs, foreclosure, banks, everybody. The simple answer is this, and it's so beautiful from the mouths of babes, absolute truth, and it turned a cop around and he walked away. I don't know if you caught the story of Wayne and White, but the 4 words are simply this. No names here, mate. And that's it. It's game over. No name, no game. Name broken down means not applicable magnetic electric, which means you're not applicable. You are dead by consent. You use a legal name. You are saying I'm dead by my own consent. Do what you will with me. And that's why in Canada, to give you an example of a stat, over 500 people a year are murdered in captivity by police, bailiffs, prison guards, or whatever, and not one single charge. Why?
Kate,
well, I can tell you why. Because they were already dead.
Kate, here's another great question. You know, the bailiffs and the police and the county commissioners and this and that and all the authorities that wear the badges and the guns and the tasers and the handcuffs, they're not always privy to this
it doesn't matter.
Formula.
Guys, okay, Kiler, it doesn't matter. And this is the magical part that people are going to have a hard time swallowing. Once you get this, you won't be dealing with that. That's a fact.
Right.
We've had too many people come on and watch the magic. Actually, I'm going to do a call out to people on the show right now for their experiences and how powerful this, quote, magic, unquote, is. Because whether they're privy to it or not, it's irrelevant. Because the truth, it pushes away everything. Okay, here we go. I might have someone here.
Kate.
It is
powerful, Kate.
It's pure magic.
Damn, it's powerful, Kate.
You're in the call. 423. Have at her. Let's go. Hello, area code 423.
That's me, Kate.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you. I had to unmute. Let me go in the house so we won't get the four-wheeler.
It's all good, hon. All good.
I have meant to call in before now, but I guess now's when I'm supposed to. So the people can see that it does work. The magic. I don't have a license now since probably 2010, 2011, not because I thought I would end up here at this table, but I got a speeding ticket. And it was at a time where I did not have a job and couldn't pay it. Well, I got to where money started coming back in, and I got to where I could pay it. So I went and paid the ticket, almost $300, and it was a speeding ticket. And I was probably going 5, maybe 10 miles over the speed limit. It was a crazy ticket, you know. I thought, what the hell? But I went and paid that ticket. And then I went back to the driver's license office, DOT, to get my license back. And I sat there for 2 hours. And I walked up, when they called my number, I walked up to that desk, and she said that I couldn't get my driver's license there, that I had to go to Johnson City, which was about 2 hours away. And I said, what the fuck? I'm not, you know, my time is just as valuable as anybody else's, and I am not going to go pay them and that I would owe $140 more to get my license back. I said, I don't need that license. And you know, I just put 2 and 2 together at that time, and I said, and up until I didn't know it would bring me to this table. I'm trying to catch my breath. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Now I know you're right, though, isn't it?
But yeah, but the magic that I'm seeing now, you know, all my friends, everybody's saying, well, you're going to get in trouble. My mother's famous words are, they're going to throw you under the jail, because I didn't just drop my license. I dropped insurance. I dropped tags, everything. I thought, fuck them. But I'm a type 1 diabetic, or I've carried that tag for years now. I do not plan to be that way much longer. I've had it over 30 years, and now I'm going to start trembling, because we heal. Yeah. My eyes have started healing.
Take your time. Don't feel rushed. Just let me jump in here for 1 sec. We got 18 minutes to roll over. Just let me do a quick shout out, then carry on. Catch your breath, relax, zone. And my gratitude for you showing up is exactly what everyone else needs to hear. They don't need to hear Kid of Gaia. They need to hear you. They need to hear all of you, as your experiences are the ones that are going to change the reality. I already know. That's why I drive with dead plates, literally. I want them to know where I am and who it is. So when a plate reader goes by, they go, oh, shit, stay away from that. I have no VINs in the car. I'm a high-profile mark, as I used to be in their system. And for those doubters, you can listen back to March 14th show, the confrontation. You can go to Lightworkers Media on YouTube. At the 20-minute mark, start there, and you'll hear me go through the process of running off 3 OPP. And again, the list goes on as far as what potentials could have happened, and I knew they wouldn't, because they need the one thing that they need, the only thing they need is for you to confess to be that legal name. Then they own your soul. It's not the money they're after; it's your soul they want. But I just want to say this: if you want to call in, I'm not sure how long we'll roll over for. We keep going like this; it'll run right out. So I'm good with that. You can call in at 661-467-2401. And for those that want to call in via Skype, you can put BTR Listener 029 in the search. Hit search when it comes up. Right-click, hit call. That'll bring you directly to the board. Once you're on the board here, we have room for a few more callers. Not many, but we have room for a few. Just hit 1 on your dial pad on the Skype or on the phone. Open the dial pad on Skype, obviously. Hit 1 there. And that lets me know that you want in the call. And that being said, hon, carry on.
Let's see. The first magical moment was I was helping a guy that needed money for what he was. It was a lie, but he was needing money for his child. So I was meeting him at the bank, giving him money. Well, somebody called in and said that we were doing drug deals. So I look in my rearview mirror, and this is the first time there's been any interaction with an officer, and they want to search my vehicle. At first I told him I didn't have a license, but he's in my town, so he knew who I was. I said, I don't have a license, haven't had one for a while. And he said, well, we need to do a search through your vehicle. And I have been going, at that time, had been going through some depression issues due to all this, knowing and not knowing. And I hadn't cleaned my truck out in like 2 years. So I thought this was funny. I said, you can go through that through my vehicle. I mean, it was bad. I told him that I was a diabetic and that he might find syringes in there, but he put his gloves on and did a search through my truck and found, of course he found nothing. And the guy that was with me, he was really scared. He said, I'm going to jail. We're going to jail. And I just told him to breathe. And the officers came back and told us both that they couldn't let us leave in the vehicle, but that I could call somebody to come and get me. So we got turned loose. He said, I'm doing you a favor. So we got turned loose that night. The next time, my mother was with me. This is just a magical moment. I've been telling her, Mom, they don't see you. They don't see you. She, of course, everybody thinks I'm crazy. But I looked at her and I said, the popo's behind me. Dead tags, everything. And so I pulled over in the slow lane and let him go, and I pulled back out. And it was like it was like he did not see me at all. He came to a complete stop, and I had to throw the brakes on, and he pulled over the car that was in front of him.
Hey! I have to interject here. You're right. And I don't know, Kate may be able to explain this, but I can't. There are times when they can't see you, and I'm getting my degree in quantum physics.
You're not making it up, Tyler. It's a fact. It's an absolute fact.
But that's why I interrupted, though. I didn't want to interrupt her. She's so beautiful. There are times when they just can't see you, and I'll shut up.
Yeah, evil can no longer see.
That's what. I'm sorry, but that's what was so amazing. My mom saw that. I said, Mom, he did not see me behind him. I mean, I had to throw on my brakes to avoid a wreck. And she's starting to get it. So my little nephew is into swimming. So we were planning to go to Nashville. she said, well, you got to get your license. You got to get a rental car. And I said, no, I'm taking my truck. I'm going just as I am. It's too much aggravation. She had no idea what it's like to try to get a rental car anyway. But I said, I'm taking me as I am, you know. And she said, well, I'm not going. But she did go. And it rained the entire weekend. And I had an issue with my eye. Seems like a blood vessel busted or something. And I really was having a hard time seeing. And it was pouring down the rain. So I did an illegal U-turn in Nashville.
Oh my God! What a horrendous crime!
Yeah, but this officer that pulled me over, I mean, I didn't even do the things. This is what I want to tell people to give them hope, because I didn't even do the things that I knew to do. I didn't say I am the witness. You're not getting. I don't have a license. Because I was nervous, you know, my eye had just messed up, and I flipped open my wallet, and I said, I don't have a license. And he saw my expired Tennessee handgun permit, and he said, that'll work. And I handed it to him. I knew better than to do that, but I handed it to him. He went back to his car and done the readings and everything, but what you got to get here, no license, no tag, busted tail light, well, not the light, but the lens cover. No insurance, no seatbelt. I don't wear a seatbelt. That's my choice. And he came back to the car, and he said, ma'am, I'm going to let you go. He said, it's easy to do. You know what? This man was an angel as far as cops go.
Well, do you know why he let you go? I'm going to tell you why. And it's not about who's an angel and who's not. This is about your power. And what you gave him was a dead. See, that's the thing. When something is expired, it's dead. That's what happens. Oh, what happened to so-and-so? Well, they expired. They died, right? When it's expired, it's dead. There is no longer a living agreement consent. This is why these things have time limits on it. Not to get you to renew it. These are opportunities for you to let them go dead and leave them dead. Let the dead bury the dead. Now, I go back to Luke, and this Luke, a beautiful quote, part of a parable I read. It's so perfect. Now, think of court when I say this. Where you find the dead, the vultures will gather. And there's your courtroom, there's your police, there's your bailiffs, there's your bankers, there's your governments, there's your religions. They're all harvesting the dead. The vultures gather. Don't be dead. And
Kate,
I'll tell you what happened. They could not touch you, huh?
Kate, I've got breaking news. I've got to leave. And it's the Queen, which I'm sure you will get before me or already have. I've got breaking news from Ukraine and South Africa. I love you all so much, and I thank you, Kate, for allowing me on the show tonight.
It's your table, buddy.
I will be
Show
back
up anytime.
Yeah, I'll be back at the next round table, and I'm going to start promoting your shows, which is going to exclude 2 other networks, and they're going to leave me. But you know what? Screw them. I love y'all.
We love them anyway.
Caller, you're wonderful. I love you and all that we're on tonight. I love you. I'll see you guys later. And we're out of here. Mr. Kiler Davenport, may the light be with you all, and remember, whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, and enthusiastically act upon will come to pass.
Yeah, dare to dream there, children. Dare to dream. Bring your crayons to the table. We draw here. Much love, Kiler. Thank you so much. And enjoy and go party to change the world. Fair? All right, he's gone. There we go. And carry on. We got, just let Wendy, your mic's open. Alvita, big happy birthday to Randy and Alvita, of course, fellow Geminians. Not that I'm biased towards anybody. It's just I'm aware of it in this moment of now. So happy re-entry day to you guys. And there you go. 760, you're open too. And by the way,
I'd like to
you didn't give us your, how do I find you on the spiritual grid? If I was to say a name that would resonate with you, what would that locator be?
On Facebook, like when I set up my Facebook, I'm disestable. I just could not put my name on there for some reason.
Oh my God! Thank you. Finally, I love it. Thank you, hon. Beautiful work.
Thank you. I'd like to tell Alvita happy birthday.
There you go.
And I love you, Kate. I'm away from the table. When I'm away from the table, it's just like when I come back, I'm empowered again. It's wonderful.
That's why we do it 7 nights a week.
What we are doing is wonderful.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing and coming on.
That's awesome.
Thank
God.
you all. I love you all.
Beautiful. I'm so glad you finally called in. Oh, my God. Thank you. Oh,
I
love
didn't
the
catch her Facebook name.
Desa Stables. D-E-S.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, you see Desa's posts on my page a lot, and that's why I'm always excited when people do. Oh, we got who else jumped in there? I heard a voice, male voice. Who was that?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Oh, can't believe I got in. Hey, I was just doing a bit of work in the garden a couple minutes ago, and what was that gentleman's name? That was
Kiler.
He was on. What was his name?
Kiler Davenport.
Oh, all right, right on. I got to look him up. But I was right when you said, I think he was asking what motivates you to keep going, and right when you said, right when you said like that you love everyone, I was right about to open a bag of compost, and I look, and what I see is it says Canadian Genuine on the bag.
There you go. I thought you were going to say.
Right when you said I love you.
I thought you were going to say you're opening a compost bag and you're saying that chick's full of shit. But thank you. I appreciate that. I go better.
Yeah, it said Canadian Genuine right on the bag.
There you go.
That is so cool.
That was pretty cool. I just can't believe I got in.
Oh, I'm glad. Hey, everyone who puts their hand up and wants in, please. I mean, this is your table. I don't know why people have such issues sitting at their own table. It's awesome. You know, we sit around the table here.
This is epic.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. How do I hop out?
There we go. Looks like somebody's got a grinder going. All right, yeah. Time. We got an axe to grind. Well, we have someone that can sharpen it. Excellent. Who else is jumping in here? I got Richard.
I've got a little story to tell.
Hey, Wendy. Yes, please, hon.
Well, it happened last year, but it was I was licensed unregistered, have been for a few years now, and I hadn't been picked up. I can't see you. They just can't see you. And I was cruising along out in the and with one officer with the radar. He obviously my tag came up. Well, my plate my own, so obviously I came up as unregistered. So he came up and pulled me over, and we chatted for. I wasn't listening to you that much at that stage, and I didn't get it. I knew who I was, and I knew that I wasn't the name. But in the end, he kept threatening me with arrest, etc., and he ended up giving me $1,500 worth of fines. And as he handed fines, he said, something with those, mate, I don't want them to put a warrant out for you. And I said, don't worry, sweetheart, I know exactly what I'm going to do with these. And but it gave me, not that he had the right to give me permission, but he gave me permission to keep travelling. He said, you can keep going to Tenterfield, which was another 30 k's away. I can't guarantee anything after that. So it's just another example of them knowing, if you know who you are and you believe in it, well, you just know. And they're gentler, they're kinder, and
they can't touch you. That's why. And again, this is about come to peace within yourself. You'll find the peace outside of yourself. Like even the night that I had the 3 OPP people running around like chickens with their heads cut off, there was no sense of any immediate danger like I felt before with these guys, because at this point I had the certainty of knock yourself out. I'm accepting all things from creation. I'm standing in truth here, and I know that you're in a jurisfiction dead world, and I'm sitting here alive, living in this body. This is mine to live in. It was hijacked during the pregnancy of my mother, you thieving bastards, and that's okay. I figured it out. But at the end of the day, it's like my car, easy. Well, I have the key. Of course, it's mine. Where do you live? Well, I point at me and say, I live here. Where do you live?
Yeah.
So I don't go external with stuff, because when you have that certainty, and again, don't be Don't be fooled by thinking that someone is being an angel or this, that. No. These are the universal laws kicking into gear. Whether these guys are aware of it or not is irrelevant. What is relevant is that you are aware of it. When you send out Babylon Has Fallen, it is contract whether they read it or not. They've accepted it. If it comes into their reality, it's a contract, and it's a much better contract because it's the soul free. I think that's a better one than enslaving someone's soul, don't you? Is that a good idea versus the other bad idea? I think it is. Absolutely. And that's it. That's the power you all wield. And we're finally getting to that point where we're not only seeing it for ourselves, but we're able to show others just by our own actions of saying, yes, I know who I am. I am not a dead slave servant of the Whore of Babylon system. My soul is mine again to do with my life what I wish, because I don't wish any harm. You see, this is the thing too. This works also for those wishing to commit harm, but it blows up in their face 1,000-fold if they do. So this is very dangerous for someone with a malevolent intent. This will destroy them, this truth. So this is the power of it. We've uncovered it.
The stories are so good because it just helps people that maybe aren't there yet, or people are unsure, or just to hear different people. That last lady's story, it's just so good to hear normal people letting everyone know that they were terrified at the time. I was shaking on my leg. But it just does people good to hear the stories. I think that's what this tape is about.
Now you understand why I'm so adamant about getting people to tell what's going on with them, because I've said this before. Big deal. Kate of God is talking. Kate's done it. Big deal. It's not important that I have. I already know who I am. I already know what this is all about. I don't need to be told this reality because I live it. What's important to me is for others that are coming in, they're telling you know what? This shit works. This is the real McCoy. This is, I am empowered. I was going to do another shout out. We got 60 seconds, but we're already over. We got 51 callers on the board, so we're full. So when we roll over, the board is over full. Go figure. What are the odds of that happening? Apparently 100%. You know, but this is the joy of this, guys. It's not important that I get it. It's important that you do. And it's not important that your family gets it or your friends or anyone else. It is only important that you understand this so that you stand in your truth, because that's who you are. No one is going to define your reality for you, not even me. And that is the absolute opposite of anything I'd want to do. I don't want anyone to believe anything I'm saying. I want people to have a look for themselves, and if it thinks and feels right at the same time, go with it, because that's you following your heart. And as Kiler said when he came on here, I don't want people to prove what I've done right. I want them to try and prove it wrong, because I did, and I failed miserably. So if I failed miserably proving it wrong and someone can, well, I want to know about it. Because in that process, I'm going to learn. I don't need to be right or wrong. I simply need to fine-tune this truth to the point where it is perfection. And that's where we are. And this is why you, not me, this is why you are so critically important at this table. I'm just the ranty, bitchy host that comes out and just everybody's goat and fires them up. That's my job. I'm the messenger. Go ahead, shoot me. I'm bulletproof. Knock yourself out. You can't offend me. There was a time you could, and it wasn't that long ago. Not anymore. And if the last message I have to share with you is this: you need to know how perfect you are. You need to know how right you've always been. You need to know how perfect, unconditional, loving souls you are beneath that shitty ego exterior of the Luciferian love construct that has you thinking you're something other than perfection. If somebody says that you're not perfect, well, don't be the fool and buy it, because I already know you are. Let that roll around in your mind for a little bit. And when someone says that you're this, that, and the other, well, you already know you're perfect in the same way you already know they are too. And anything that's coming out of their face is a broken TV set with a rerun going on that's regurgitating someone else's idea of defining their reality. I'll define my own. And all I'm asking those to do, if it's a good idea for you, maybe you might want to think about redefining your reality as it suits you in your benevolent walk. Beyond that, stay the course. not my concern. Plant the seed, move along, let nature take its course, say, heart of creation. I'm good with heart of creation, and I'm not going to challenge the all-knowing heart of creation, because I got to experience it, and boy, oh boy. No, I'm good. The humility bowing to all creation, I'm good with that. That's okay, I'm good. And I'm not, you see, that's the thing, is you're not a slave to it either. This is absolute freedom in the most humble reality. It's there are no words. So I'll shut up now and let someone else speak. Janet, you're on the board too, by the way. Jump in here, guys. We're in the rollover, and we'll go as long as you guys want to keep talking. I'm good.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's great to hear you all, and I just wanted to share that, even when it happens for you, but it also happens for your family, because I know my son had like 4 different times that he's been pulled over, and he has expired license, expired tags, and they always leave him alone.
Can't do anything.
So, no, and every time, there's so many times that they're around me and they don't see me, so I have seen it so many times now. Ever since I burned all of my stuff in January, it's so real, and it's such a beautiful feeling. So I just wanted to add to the other sharing.
And how exciting is it, Janet? How exciting is it to ride around with your grandkids in the car, and they're having a great time because they know Grand's right.
Yeah, and thanks to White, they're all, no names here, mate.
No names here, mate. And we had them yell that out. Are they anywhere near you right now, Janet?
No, they're not with me. They're
okay. Next time you have them with you, I want them to let the whole world know the 4 magic words to set them free. And only the children can say this and really drive it home, because, boy, oh boy, that really sinks in deep and hard, doesn't it? The kids know what's going on. How about you?
Yeah, they do. And with such joy, because they just love it, because I don't, I run through the stop signs or whatever, but no one's there, and I tell them, well, I run the stop signs, the signs don't run me, and they're like, oh, Grandma.
Our grandma. And we have an international caller. I've never seen this area code. So, international caller, what's on your mind? I know you're all. I'm talking. It's an international phone number. It's not a Skype or anything. 1166. 116 area code. Okay, who hasn't talked yet to put their hand up? Start talking.
Hello, I've been trying to talk. Hey,
Elvita. Yes. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, sweetie. How are you? Happy birthday, girl.
Okay. Well, I'm great, and thanks for all the birthday blessings from everyone. It was great. I got to meet Barbara. She hung out with me all day yesterday, and Cora. So we had a nice get-together. It was great. Awesome.
Isn't it great meeting people from the table?
There's no words to describe it, seriously.
There isn't. It's beautiful.
Nice. Yes, words can't describe it. I'm still a little tired, so I'll have to pick this up tomorrow. But I just want to say thank everybody for Earth Day, and I love everybody. That's it.
Mirror, mirror, my love. Mirror, mirror.
I just posted pictures. All righty. I'll be up in the morning.
All right, sweetie. Yeah, we'll be jumping in with Mike in the morning probably as well. So have Aloha Mike on his show in the mornings. It's good. Depends on how, I'm contemplating a journey, proper one this time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it feels like to have a ticket to drive a Formula One race car and end up with a push bike? Yeah, that's what yesterday felt like. It's like, oh. But anyway, it's all good. So who else hasn't jumped in here yet? What's that, Elvira?
I said we had to do these get-togethers because they are awesome. I know you already know, but it's really great telling you. It's the feeling. Oh my God! It's like I just never, you know. Oh, so
pure magic.
Jump in.
Pure magic. All right, who else hasn't jumped in yet here, guys? I know I haven't heard from Richard yet. 760. Why do I know that number and it's not hitting me?
It's me, Kate.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I've been listening for the last couple of nights. Ain't had much to say. Breaking down words in the Webster Dictionary, and it's pitiful. You know, the poor man is not what I would call a definer of words, but he does his best, I guess.
Oh, for sure. That's why we need to just take that dictionary and take every word and read it into the intention we want, which destroys any malintent ever contained within it, because now it's your sigil, your sound, my reality. See how that works? Friggin' awesome.
Yeah, it was good to hear that lady from Tennessee, that accent. That's
yeah, Desa. Yeah, I love Tennessee. I spent a lot of time in Nashville, and I tell you, I've met so many beautiful people around the world, and I always love being down in the States, especially in the Kentucky, Tennessee. I mean, everywhere. I've been to quite a few states, and I've always had a beautiful time with the people. And that's one of the things about those that claim to represent those people, which they do not. They're such a blight and such a parasite in comparison to the beautiful souls that I've had the opportunity to sit with and, play music with or just chat with or whatever. So it's, and you're right, I love hearing that Tennessean accent. I'll tell you what. Awesome.
Yeah, the more people that call in and tell us where they're from just tells you just how big of a spread of effect that you're having there with that.
This is your table. It's global. It's global.
Yeah, exactly. It's a joy to have that, brought home.
Isn't that funny that we have something that actually works everywhere on the planet? Isn't that neat? Don't you think that's cool? I think that's pretty awesome.
Awesome. Amazing.
One ring to rule them all. Okay, all the mics are open, guys. Don't wait for me.
Hey, Kate.
Who we got?
This is One Man.
One Man, how are ya?
I'm doing great.
You've been doing
great.
Excellent.
Yeah, I remember hearing you say that you were talking about meditation, and that if anyone was wanting to learn more about proper meditation techniques to get a hold of you, and
sure.
So I was wondering how I'd be able to go about doing that.
Okay, I'll tell you what I do, and for me it's very easy. There's a couple of ways you can get into this. See, the hardest part about meditation is thinking that you have to do something to meditate. And that actually goes contrary to what meditation is. The thing about meditation is you got to not do anything. And when you have you can use mantras if you need something to distract yourself. I'll tell you the easiest meditation, bar none, is when you have something you really love to do. Just do that. Because you're doing it without thinking. You're doing it as a natural reflex. And what are you doing there? You're not thinking. And guess what happens? The creative right opens automatically and starts dumping stuff on you, whether you think it is or not. Because you don't have to think. That, I tell you, music for me, like guitar and whatever, was the key to actually get into that headspace. And I didn't even know it at the time.
Yeah, and see, for me, I've noticed that, and I don't know how it happens, but when I've had some astral projection type experiences where I was just laying there and in my bed before I go to sleep, and I try to kind of just open my mind and relax and just allow whatever to happen, and before I know it, I'm having amazing experiences, but I wasn't quite sure if that was meditation or what.
Oh yeah, that's the shit, baby. Yeah, if you're getting that, you're in the zone, and only in that zone you experience those things. So yeah, have no thought. And people might think that's difficult, but now you understand why this distraction is so intense, because, well, I've got this, and I've got this, and I've got this, I've got this, and this stop. No, you don't. You have somebody else's idea of defining your reality, so why don't you just be without all that and turn it off? Right. And I find, for me, if the thoughts aren't leaving, I literally just go, shh, and it's gone.
Right.
Let's shut yourself.
So I guess I've kind of stumbled upon it on my own. Then I guess. Yeah,
the same way I did.
Because I've been trying to be impeccable in my thoughts. I've been reading the Don Miguel Ruiz series, and I've been trying to watch my thoughts closely. It's been a challenge for me, and right now I'm having I'm having a challenge with here,
hang on a second, guys. We got some background noise, and I'm not sure where that's coming from. Guys, I've got the lawns open. I can hear your conversation. Please mute. Thank you. Carry on.
Okay, thanks. I've been a commercial driver for 15 years, and I have a family and all that stuff. And although I've come to, wow, am I still there?
Yeah, you're still here. I'm just going to go and see where that's coming from. Just give me a second, guys. Do not take it personal. I'm just trying to find the line.
No worries.
Okay, yeah. Richie, I'm going to unmute you again. It's actually some traffic on your part, so it's all good for the traffic noise. I'm not sure who was doing the talking, though, but that stopped, so thank you. Anyway, there you go. I'll unmute you in a sec, Richie, so I know the traffic's there, and it's all good. I know you have to sit in your car. It's all good. All right, carry on.
All right, thanks. So yeah, I've been a commercial driver for 15 years. That's been my mode of, commerce for what I provide for my family. And so, but at the same time, as through my awakening process, I've also learned, or also realized for myself, that it's contradictory to my own being, because I know what I'm feeding into. And so,
can I let you in on a little secret? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Because you know this, and the fact you just said that means that you're not part of it. You're just doing exactly what you need to, no longer feeding the system energy. There's a big difference there. You're now in neutral. You're not feeding it, and you're just doing what you need to do to keep your family going and everything else. You just need to get the concept. So there you go. That's how tough it is.
Well, but this is where I've been targeted here in the little small town that I'm in, and I've been getting stalked and such, and got pulled over. I call it, I got out of the way in respect for an emergency vehicle. They just happened to pull in behind me, but yeah, they nailed me with a $2,000 ticket. So, but I'm going to send them I am the witness paperwork with the ticket, and
send them everything, buddy.
I think.
Here's the thing. Here's your power, and it's not about waiting for a response. You're not sending something to get a response. You're sending pure spiritual contract. This is why the only time these things have power is when you get the ahas. That's the gunpowder. The documents are nothing. It's you that's doing it, and it took a bit to twig onto this completely. To the wait a minute, and this was a number of months back. And this is the true power of you. And I was talking about this on the way back in the car with Mary and Akua. You are power. It doesn't matter who it goes to, because you're the one sending out contract. They have an email, they have an address, then they're saying, I will receive all contracts. So you're sending a contract now. So you send everything you can that you know. Babylon has fallen, the who's who of loans and mortgages, law enforcement. Go through whatever essays are there that you fully get and you have aha moments in them, because they're absolutely chock full of gunpowder, and ram it down their gullet. Fair?
Mm-hmm.
You're the power here, not them.
And I just finally realized that today, because I've been stuck in the literal. Well, I was stuck in the literal for a long time. I studied law, and so here I was thinking, okay, well, I've got to go back and get my legal forms and all that stuff, and then it dawned on me that, wait a second, there's that literal coming back out of me, and and it worked me up. It got me up in a frenzy, and I'm thinking, oh man, this is stressing me out. And then I thought, wait a second. I had to shake myself and go, okay, wait a second. No. Obviously, this doesn't resonate with me. So even though I have a superior knowledge that I can bring to their court, I'm not. That's not. It wasn't resonating with me. So I just finally, came back to myself today and realized, no, you know what? I'm going to send out the I am the witness paper and with the ticket, and I'm just going to put it out there. And
I would say because you've got an open door, so ram everything that you know in there, because every bit of it is contract and every bit of it is helping all of humanity. So do this from the viewpoint of everything that you understand that you send in, you're helping all of humanity doing it. Do it with that intent and watch the difference. You hit on the key thing there. Look at all the distractions we have in the literal and how it spins us out, and there's no way on heaven or earth that is going to resonate with truth. So that I'm glad you brought that up, because that's actually a perspective I haven't heard from yet. That's exactly what happens. The literal will spin you out. You can't resonate with it.
It did. It got me. In fact, that morning that I got pulled over, real quick, because I'll just tell you, what had happened was we were going on a trip out of town. I woke up. I had 2 strong cups of coffee on an empty stomach, and for some reason, it just made me anxious. Just made me.
Your foot was heavier
than
normal. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't speeding. I know.
Okay.
He
I was
pulled
being
me over for not sticking. Oh yeah, right. My bad. Sorry.
Okay,
apologize. Yep, I'm still working on that left. Getting out of the left brain there. But no, yeah. And so I was jittery, right? And I was nervous, and I didn't know I had this nervousness about me. And then, sure enough, half an hour out of town, that's when I got pulled over. And it was one of these guys. And he's known in town. He's violent. He's sociopath. And so, but anyways, I knew that I attracted it, basically, because I had that nervousness and I had that.
Can I give you
energy.
the gift? Let me give you the gift. This guy's a known sociopath, psychopathic, likes to beat people up and everything. And the worst he could come at you with was a piece of paper. Huh?
Yeah, right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Look at how powerful you
exactly.
are. That's the universe telling you that you can take out sociopaths, because the worst they can do is throw a piece of worthless paper at you that you know is worthless and is, you can send it to the court or use it to wipe your ass with. Either one works for me. I'm good either way.
Well, my mate, she said the same thing. She said, look at it this way. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
I said, you're right.
Look at you.
Nothing happened.
Look at you, armor-plated boy. I love it. Look at awesome. The joys of the little things that we glaze over on. Look at you, got tested with a psychopath, and the worst that the psychopath could do was, here's a piece of paper. Okay.
Right. And
this is the shit that makes
funny.
You laugh, man.
Yeah. Well, and two, he asked me. He says, because I have a license from one state, my registration is from another, and my insurance is from another. And he said, you live here, right? And I said, and I pointed at my Muppet, as I like to call it, and said, no, I live here. Oh, okay, we can go around and around about that, but I could just see his ego, was very fragile, and I could just sense that, And so I didn't really push the issue too much with him. I didn't play too much with him because I had my family with me, but it was a good learning experience. And where this weekend I worked through that whole, got rid of the literal and everything, got all of the I guess I had to face the angel of death with that issue, so to speak, and accept
yeah. I tell everyone this, that I'm here, okay? If you need to check with me one-on-one, please, I make myself available all day. Everyone knows this. And the universe sets it up perfectly. So if there's ever that moment that you just need to call me, please, I tell everyone that. And people are still shocked when I answer my cell phone. I don't know why. It's like, I gave you my number and you called it, I'm going to answer it. Same with Skype and everything else. So don't hesitate, guys. I mean, this is, if I have to be that, and I'm not saying I'm going to be a crutch for you. What I'm saying is I want you to know that you're connected to every single one at this table. And if I get to be the conduit to make sure of that, I have no problem doing that. Of course, because I know, I'll tell you something. I know that each one of you would do it for me. So why wouldn't I do it for you?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's and I've thought about those things too. Is that if especially in this area, I don't know anyone else other than my mate that knows what we do or understands things the way we do, and so I guess it's kind of like it's up to me to stand in my truth so that I can give back to my fellow brothers and sisters.
I've got a great idea for you. You said you're in a small town, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, tell you what you can do. And this is where you can start putting contracts everywhere. These are not offers. These are pure contracts. That when you put them out, the universe is right there saying, yep, what he said. I would say simply this. If you can get a hold of a printer or whatever, print up, 25 or 50 Babylon Has Fallen, and just pick small parts in town and just go drop them in mailboxes. And I don't care if these people read them or not, because what you're doing is you're putting truth contract in a mailbox. Whether they read it or not is irrelevant. That's how you help save others, and they're not even aware of you doing it. Right. That's how you change the world, because what you're doing is by your actions you are known. You are giving people the contract to remove the sole ownership that has been placed on them. I think that's a pretty good thing. And I think the universe would think that's a pretty good thing too. And by your actions you are known. And you'd be amazed at how much power that actually builds up around you. So, you know what? If you have a few minutes or whatever, even down your street, just take a walk down and throw them in mailboxes, or throw them somewhere where people can get them, because these are contracts that are going into the when people understand the true esoteric and ethereal nature of what it is we're doing here and what we're talking about right now, and the power that is wielded in just giving that seed out. The seed, once you plant it, whether they read it or not, doesn't matter. Nature will take its course. It's already contract. Just like everything that's evil that goes to their mailbox is contract. What do you think what would you prefer in your mailbox?
Well, I don't have one personally.
Well, you know what I mean, though, right? I mean, if you were to read something in the mail, do you want something benevolent and soul-freeing, or something that's going to suck your soul dry and keep you trapped in a diabolical matrix designed to drain your very soul into non-existence? Which one would you pick? I picked the first one, right? So that's why.
Oh yeah.
And we're at the table every night here too, right? So This is going out into the consciousness as a collective agreement because we're standing in the same thing. And we know what the simple truth is. And for me, it's not my concern of what anyone else thinks, because everyone that comes to this table is here of their true will choice, beyond free will. Because what we're doing here is we're sharing the stories that we're all experiencing worldwide with the same singular truth of lose a name, win the game. No names here, mate, and it's over. It is done. Boy, that's a tough one, isn't it?
No, it's beautiful, and I actually I've already thought about making copies and spreading them around because I don't want to hold it for myself.
Well, yeah, if you got a local diner or whatever, just leave a couple of them there, and say post office or whatever, anywhere that you can just leave because what you're doing is you are actually putting a point of consciousness out there. It's not just a piece of paper. What you're saying is here's the shining light of pure truth and contract that you want others to be set free with. Whether they grab it or not, it's irrelevant. Whether they read it or not, it's irrelevant. You are the one doing the work. This is how we become our brother's keeper to make sure that we're all okay. This is how we serve all. That's the only game I play anymore. It's to play the me. We did that. Look for that kind of.
Well, I thank you for that. And where is would I get on Facebook to get your number then and all that? Or
here, you got a pen?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll give you my Skype. It's the easiest one. Get on Skype. Because I can actually, if there's something you need, I can just pass it to you directly, Skype to Skype, and it's free, and I don't have to worry about I haven't got the great cell signal here, just to let people know that, okay? So I can, the calls I can get, I actually have to go to certain spots, so it'd be a bit of a pain in the ass, but I will answer the phone, I promise you that. Anyway, my cell phone number is 226-971-9675. I'll give it to you again, don't worry. And this is for anybody that wants it. Just be mindful. I'm in Eastern Standard. Don't be calling me at 3 in the morning, please, because you're, Pacific time and it's midnight and you think that's cool. Because it's not. Okay? I need to sleep on occasion. But anyway, number again is 226-971-9675. And I highly urge any CSIS, CIA, FBI, NSA, Mossad, KGB agents that are actually listening right now, just feel free to give me a call, and I'd love to help you save yourself, too. Now, my Skype is katie.renee.thompson. Not to be confused with me, it's just a reference to find me. KATIE.RENEE.THOMPSON. And just send me a Skype contact request, and we'll get you into the main rooms. And if you're have regionals for like the U.S., UK, Canada, Netherlands, Australia, we've got different regional rooms set up for people to gather in their own areas, so that you're connected to someone close by. Okay, so again, guys, feel free. I'm here, and I make an absolute point of letting people know that. And what a neat thing that is to know that you always have access to your table. Isn't that cool? That's the shit. Because I'd want someone to do that for me. See, what I'm doing for others is what I'd want others to do for me. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
What a paradigm shift that is within my own reality. That was a big one for me. And I said, well, I'll do it for them. Because I think they do it for me, so why don't I do it for them first and show them that, yeah, we do this for each other. So that's why. There's nothing altruistic about it. It's just a statement of fact. Right?
Well,
we're dancing.
Yeah, and I'm just really grateful for, being able to come to this table, being a part of it, because even when I'm not able to get on the phone, I know that I'm still a part of it. It's like it's
You're
almost
here.
like it's like I'm wired into it, and so it's pretty amazing, and I love everybody that, and I'm grateful every day for my opportunity in my lifetime to connect with everybody in this way.
Yeah, it's awesome, because I'll tell you, no matter how crazy my day might get, I always know that come 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I've got a place to go to hang out with all of you, and we've got our space that nobody can interfere with, and you're wide open, you're free to say whatever you want. This is your table. And that, for me, I got to tell you guys, it works the same for me as I'm hoping it does for you, because this is where I can come to hang out with you guys and hear your beautiful stories where we're all confirming the truth together. We're all doing this. This is not the Katie Renee show here, boys and girls. This is the Emerald Table. This is the table. That's the Taurus field of gratitude, and that's why it's here. And I'll tell you, stand in the post, shall not yield, none shall pass. This table stays exactly where it is because we have a stable point of view to come to and do that. So yeah, it's as important to me as I'm hoping it is to everybody else in that regard. We got somewhere to come to say, you know what, guys, it's okay. We got this.
Well, I'll thank you again, and I'm going to send that out tomorrow, and so I'll just keep everyone posted on how it goes, and just one man, just leave it there. Once your contract's out, it's done. Yep.
It's like this. Are you so and so? No names here, mate. Done.
Yep.
Yeah, 7-year-olds. Yell at that, eh? Oh, that was so beautiful. Talk about a perfect ending, It's like, oh my God, this little kid goes, no names here, mate. What? Excuse me? Yeah, you're excused. No names here, mate. Okay, I'm walking away now. Only to have the same guy show up at the school and stand in full defense of her and her father. How's that shit for you? You want to talk about magic?
Hey,
that's the magic. Hey, who we got?
Oh, a Skater here.
Skater, I thought that was your voice. Yeah, what's up, bud?
Well, I have a couple questions about exactly what you're talking about white and all that.
Okay.
I also want to get out of school and all that, but
okay.
I feel like kind of spiritual contract I have with my parents might kind of hold me back,
Well, again, it's like sit down with your mom and dad and let them know what's what. That's all. Again, take your baby steps. There's no hurry here, right? We only have forever, and forever is right now, so it's all good. All right, so again, don't put any pressure on yourselves to perform. We've done that for too long. That's the competitive ego thing that was bred into us at school. There's no need to perform here. There's just simply be and take your baby steps and breathe every step of the way. It's not there's no rush here, right? We've been, in my case, in the system sense, been screwed for almost 50 years, doing it to myself, of course, unawares, but now we're aware. So I'm good. I'm okay. That's like 5 decades we're talking here, guys. All right, so what's your hurry? We got the key now. Now, just sit back. The Ferrari 308 GTS is sitting in the driveway, and you got the keys to it. And you can drive it any time you want. Or you can take your time and just sit outside and polish it. It's entirely up to you. So, with your parents, with regards to that, there's only 3 words I'm going to say to anybody in this regard anyway. It's 3 words of this. Follow your heart. Try that again. Follow your heart.
Hey, Kate, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, shit, I'm like, I was in the same situation as
One man?
caller.
Or Skater with the school. One man with Skater, yeah.
Yeah, with the whole school thing, and I just with my parents, I was just like, you know what I mean? Just like, it's not enjoyable. It's not kind of how I would like to. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's like the base thing, like the whole school is just like, it's just memorization of like, you're learning about all these wars and all this stuff, and you're like, you know what I mean? It's a bunch of crap.
Not interested. I'm not interested,
Yeah, it's a bunch of shit. So like, you sit.
Well, maybe, you know what? what would be great here is maybe even Skater. Are you on Skype right now?
Oh no, I'm on the iPhone, so I guess the phone call.
Oh, okay. Do you have Skype?
No, I gotta do that. That's a computer program, right? You just download it?
It's a free download. It's so user friendly once you get on it. That's why I love about Skype. It's easy to use, and we can connect everybody with everybody at the table. And I just gave up my Skype address, so get it downloaded, contact me, and I can hook you and Skater up. And it would be great to have. See, this is why the table's so important, because when we have shared experiences, you have a better reality with Skater than I do. So this is why we're here, guys. Let's share this together, right? Does that work for you, Skater?
Yep.
See?
No worries.
Do it together, man.
I'll
Teamwork.
tonight.
And let me know, and I'll hook you two up, and then and seriously, that way you because you can talk of that experience far better than I could, because you're in that experience. That's your reality. It's not mine. My kids, if they come to me and said I don't want to go out, I say, yeah, that's great. I'm really glad, because I wouldn't want you doing it anyway. But of course, you just let them do their thing, right? So, I was one of those crazy parents that actually listened to the children and thought it was okay.
Yeah, I was. That's one of those things. Like I've kind of been trying to get. I've been listening for a while, and probably like 6 months or so, and I guess I could, the whole term of waking up. I was like all into the Alex Jones and all that, and like the and I was like, I mean, that stuff drives you crazy. I was reading all the news and all that, and I was like, but I've been listening to you a lot, and like it's exactly like that guy was. I keep forgetting his name, but the guy who's
Kiler.
Yeah, him. Yeah. It's like it's the same thing. Like with you, Kate, you're just like, it's like everything you say is just like it just like resonates. It's bullshit. Like the whole name thing. It's just like, how simple is that? It's like you got your birth certificate and it's registered, and all the bills and everything go through the name, and it's like that's how it works. And the money is fake. The fucking, you know what I mean? It's like all this. Yeah. It's just all fraud. And it's like this Alex Jones stuff. It's like we're not gonna get there by marching and all this, and like gold and all this. I heard gold was a big fraud too. Like all these people buying gold.
It's all fraud. It's value outside of you. For those that get a chance, watch the movie Revolver. And there's two things in there that were so profound. It had to be a trick so old, and a lie so big that we could never believe it to be that simple. And that's where I have fighting with myself for the last 2 years, still going, it can't be this simple. It can't be this simple. It can't be this. And I'm the one doing, off air, I'm going, come on, Kate, it can't be this simple. It can't be this. It is. And I'm trying to prove that it isn't. And it just wasn't. Holy shit, it is this simple. And what we're coming to terms with right now more than anything else is finally believing, not just believing, but knowing that it is this simple, and it's just mind-blowing. And that's the hard part to believe, is it is this simple. And once you accept it and you stand in that beautiful circle of unconditional love and truth, the armor plate goes up, and like I was saying to one man, the psychopath, the only thing he could do to you was come at you with a piece of paper. Talk about armor plating. Oh, here's a piece of paper, mister. And now you just deal it back and it's done. It's like, here you go. Yeah, here's your piece of bullshit fraud back. No names here, mate. Have a nice day. I love you. I love you. I hope you get this. But I'm not going to play in your, Monopoly game that you write the rules for, that you control the money, that you control the real estate, that you control the community chest and the chance cards and all the rest of it, plus my rolls, and send me to jail whenever you feel it. No, I'm not going to play. You got your board, I got mine, and there the two shall meet. Have a nice day.
Hey, Kate, I got a couple other questions. Is that cool?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Sure, Tate.
Yeah, sick. Damn, this is so cool. I can't believe I'm. You listen for so long, and it's just such a trip to actually talk to you. It's like talking to you like a god or something.
Yeah, like I'm human. Exactly. It's like I'm human or something. That's fucked up, eh? Oh, Kate answered the phone. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. You called. I gave you the number. Duh. You know, seriously, sit back and think about this, guys. I really want this point driven home, okay? I am no different than you. No, at any way whatsoever. Get that. Really just get that. And when you give a friend a number and they call you, and are you surprised? I'm just giving my friends my number. That's all I'm doing. So don't ever, and this is back to, and I understand where Paul was coming from. I totally get that. You can blow as much, whatever could be perceived as sunshine as you want, because I know exactly how equal I am with everybody, and I'm not going to change for anybody because I like being equal with everybody. It's really cool. It works for me. You know, I'm not going to change what works for me. So yeah, you know, it's. But I do get it. I honestly do. I was in the music scene for a long time, and I used to get a lot of the quote starstruck types that would come by and say, "Oh my God, it's you!" And it's like, "Yeah, who the fuck else do you think it was?" It's like, "How's it going? Want to sit down and have a beer?" Well, what? I'm thirsty. Are you thirsty? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go and have some beer. Maybe we'll have a pretzel or something. You know, something really outlandish like that. It's, you know, because it drove me nuts, especially hanging around those that really had that, oh, I'm all about me and I'm this and that. Yeah, I used to piss the other artists off because they were trying to be all that bag of chips, and I'm going, you're just a bag of shit is what you are. I'm going to hang out with these people because they're the ones coming out listening to the music, and I want to get out here and dance and listen with them because I love music. I love all of it. And what's the point in performing if you can't hang out with those that are digging your stuff? And it's like, cool, they put a smile on your face? Excellent. Well, come on, let's have a beer and put a smile on my face. And it's like, oh, is that such a tough concept?
Yeah. Oh, I was actually at that. That was I was listening to a Wes Montgomery. Have you ever heard of him?
It doesn't ring a bell at this point. Keep talking, it might.
Oh, he was I think he was like he was black, and he was, I think the record was 1965. He was like a jazz guy.
Okay, see, jazz I wouldn't know because I'm not really in the jazz scene, but jazz is like that total avant-garde. I call it the all about me music because it's like, look at how good I am, and it pisses me off because they are that good. You know?
But yeah, he was like, there was like this tape of him, and he was. It was interesting. I've been playing the guitar, and I've been kind of in a learning phase. You know what I mean? It's like, but it was this really interesting comment about how it differs. Like, I guess how stringed instruments differ from like all the other is because like it's never, and I guess it's never in the it's never in that perfect tune, because right when you tune it started like, and it's so like. I was thinking about that too, how that fits into like all these great players and everything, and like what throughout the whole thing, it's like they don't retune every song, so it's like it's always like a different. All the strings are on a different level because they've all been bent and like whatever style. Like I was like, shit, that's such a cool idea.
Well, yeah. By the time, listen, when I go to the studio and I tune my guitar up, by the time I finish the song, the guitar is not in the same tuning I started in, and not because it's way out, but the mere fact that you're playing,
it just changes.
Well, it just changes. So you go with the flow, and you know you get it as close as you can. But yeah, he's absolutely right. You know, and I will say that about most of the musicians I've ever known are just really down to earth. Let's just hang out and have a musical time. And very few of the I got to tell you, the music scenes that I've been involved in, it's just like, man, some people's shit just doesn't stink apparently, and it's like, okay, whatever. You know, I remember getting to the country scene, and there was a few people that I knew from my rock days, and I'd done some corresponding shows with rock and their country-ish sort of thing, and then of course I'm in the country scene, and all of a sudden they're threatened and talking down their nose at me. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I play something? Did I play something different? I'm sorry, but it really is. It's kind of funny. But no, guys, I'm here, and it's like, do you see how real your table is? That's all I want to do is make this the realest place you can be.
It's so epic. Do you think I could? I just had a couple questions about like I've been trying to learn about like the stars and all that.
Oh,
and
yeah, okay.
There's all these. I was trying to learn a little bit about my like the signs and everything, and there's all these different
the best one to talk to about that is on Facebook. Look for Mary's Rainbow.
Mary's
Rainbow.
As
far as anyone I've ever come across in terms of astrology, Mary is by far the most anagogic, get the shit done in a beautiful, so real way that you'll get it being. Like, she speaks astrology like I speak Phoenician. Savvy?
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I'll check that out. Mary's Rainbow.
Oh yeah, we've got some beautiful. Every one of you have got this beautiful, beautiful superhuman, super spirit trick that is yours and yours alone. And there's nothing I love more than sharing the true power and the true tools of those that I've come across that just blow my mind of how amazing they are at what they do. See, I love to be in awe of others. I really do.
Yeah. I was talking about like great teachers and everything. What happened to what happened to Santos? Did he?
Well, that's kind of an interesting story. Now again, he just reverted back into the legal nonsense. Still doesn't fully know who he is, and that's okay. Santo will be where he is. You stay the course, I stay the course, and everyone and everything outside of you and me is not our concern. You take care of you take care of your business, and your timeline changes accordingly. And this is the magic. This is the real shit, guys. When you sort it out with you get the new and improved versions of everyone around you. So I don't worry about these as much as guys, it's an unconditional love for all. So that goes without saying. So I'm not going to worry because someone's not quite getting it. That's not my concern. That's theirs. With me, it's about making sure that I stay the course and keep working on myself, ripping and stripping and cleaning away all the garbage so that we get this nursery ready for the inner child that's raging to get here. And it's here, guys. And it's up to us to blaze the trail through to open this place up. And that's what we're doing. And I got to say, a nice little polite curtsy. Job well done, boys and girls. Job well done.
And Katie, go ahead, mate.
Sorry,
go ahead, mate. You got the flower. Go ahead.
Thanks, mate. I was just like I'm talking about the stars and everything. I've been trying to go through like YouTube's so awesome, so I've just been going through his videos, and like I was just kind of bummed that he hasn't been making them. They just like so cool.
Actually, you want a really good intro to astrotheology and how the signs really work, and get a good overview. Bill Donahue, Hidden Meanings. His Zodiac series is second to none.
Okay.
For me, it was anyway. It was so enlightening. And go through all the signs because you got all 12 in you, right? What is your specific sign? What was your game piece? What'd you come in as?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. I can't. What would March 22nd, 1997 be?
Well, March 22nd, let me get that. Mary's already got the answer. I can hear her. Well, the 21st is the change. Aries. Yeah, so you're right on the Aries, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, so it's Aries, because I always thought, I was listening to Santos, and he was saying that he was because I know that the 21 is the moving, the shifting point, and he was saying that he was born on March 25th, I think, and he was saying he was in the Aquarius.
No, that's Aries. And I got to tell you, do you know that you're 1 year younger than my oldest daughter? Thank you for being here. Yes, thank you for being here.
Oh, right on. That's cool.
No, you have no idea what that means to me, to know that you guys are getting this, and this is the shit that sets you free. This is what makes my heart sing. I'm going to get Randy to jump in here. We got like 9 minutes left, so I just want to make sure Randy gets in. And that's not to cut you short, but I'm going to make sure that you and Skate are getting contact. Get on Skype, get a hold of me, katie.renee.thompson. If you can't, it's on my website, Kate of Gaia. Just Google Kate of Gaia. The first link that comes up is the website in the mirror. All my contact info is there, phone number and all. Okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Randy.
I could... Yo.
Hello.
I can prove that we're different because I do not own a pair of knee-high boots. So there.
There you go.
Okay.
You do.
Woo!
Ow!
Oh, hey, I don't know if you know this, everyone, but Babylon has fallen.
Yeah, I was. You know what? I was waiting for Randy. I'm not sure if you all know this, but did you know that Katie's a tranny?
No, who cares?
No way.
That's just physical shit. Big deal. Big deal. Silly.
Hey guys, here, check this out, because this is part of the conversation over the weekend. Check this out. Okay. Imagine what it feels like to actually, be me for a second, and then try to fathom the whole concept that how the hell am I going to get anyone to believe anything I'm saying, being who I am? Huh? And then I turn around and say, well, what a perfect place to hide the truth, exactly where no one's going to look or no one's going to ever believe it. I thought that was brilliant. You see?
Well, yeah. I mean, who cares?
Has the game.
We are brilliant.
It's freaking awesome. You guys are amazing.
Because those of us who have known innately that something is afoot, that it's just not right. The pieces of the puzzle may fit together, but it's just not right. The puzzle's screwy. Something's fixed, right? I mean,
exactly.
The earth is flat, all this stuff. So many, blah, 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 right? It's the illusion. But if you know truth and it rings in your ear, like you have said, like we have said, you have to approach it. It will force you to approach it. Mm-hmm. It's going to land right in front of you and force you to stand there, right? So,
Randy, it's the moment you realize that you're putting a puzzle together and it's not matching the picture on the box.
Yeah. There you go. That's the better.
Wait a minute, I thought this was Tony the Tiger and it's looking like the friggin' rooster from fucking Cornflakes, just like that. And then you said, and you can't believe it, but you're putting the puzzle together, and you're making the picture, but it's not matching that one. But I'm getting the picture here, and it's all making sense to me.
It feels right.
So eventually, what do? Well, you throw the box lid away and say, fuck it, I got a puzzle going on here way better. You know?
I know it.
You know that SNL skit where Christopher Walken comes in and says, hey, we need more cowbell? Well, I'm just going to start saying, we need more giggle.
Yeah. Janet,
we need more giggle.
Yeah, we do. You guys bring it out for sure.
Exactly.
That was beautiful.
Do you remember the
That's hilarious.
We need more Calgon? Well, now the slogan is, we need more giggle.
We do giggle good at this table.
Yeah, we do.
Everyone has a great giggle here. When you get going, it's like...
That's for sure.
Even you, Randy.
All of them.
And on occasion, I have been known to laugh. Isn't that funny? Man. You see how crazy awesome this table is?
I wanted to share...
No, go ahead,
Go ahead and giggle, Kate.
No, I'm good. I'm just going to lay back and listen.
I wanted to share the different variations of the invisibility cloak. I was driving a few days ago, and my plates are expired, and I was making a turn, and I rarely do this, but I went and I was making a left turn in the middle of the intersection, and I look up, and here is this bus is coming at me. So I hurried up and made the turn, and I looked, and I saw that the turn light was red. And the bus it jerked on the brakes where I could see it swerve a little bit. I'm not proud of that.
It's all good. It's all good.
It doesn't happen very often. As soon as I made the turn, I looked in my rearview mirror, and there's the flashing lights. And I thought, okay, it's my turn. I get to practice 2 years of listening to Kate. So it was just so surreal, and I had no fear. I pulled over, and there was the perfect place to pull over down, and the cop gets out of the.
Oh, hello! Someone get that.
Yes. 1 sec. I gotta find out who that is. Great. We only got 3 minutes, and someone takes a call. Okay.
That's an important phone call.
1 sec. I'm just gonna mute all the. Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Go ahead.
Okay. So he gets out of the car. I'm looking at him, and I'm just pulled over there, and I had my window down, and he came over and he said, "What were you thinking?" and I said to him, "Can you believe I did that?" I said, I didn't even see that light was red. And he said, I had my sunglasses on, and he said, "Have you been drinking?" And I said, "What?" I said, "It's only 3:00. And he said, "Let me see your eyes." He said, "Pull your sunglasses down." So I pulled my sunglasses down, and I looked deep in his eyes. His phone rings. This is no lie.
Okay, we got 2 minutes, Colin. Get in there. I want the punchline. This is killer. I love this. The phone rings.
I do too. His phone rings. He doesn't even go back into his car. He takes the call right next to my window. He never asked me for a driver's license or anything. And he takes the call, and he says, "Okay, all right, I'll be right there." He looks at me, and he said, "Okay." He said, "Be careful out there, ma'am." He closed his Narmer palette, and he left.
Oh, beautiful creation.
Nice one.
There's more to it. I don't think
God
we have
was
time.
calling.
Hey.
2 days later, I have a friend in the car, and the lights are behind me. I thought, what the hell? Okay, so now I get to practice. I pull over. The cop comes to the window. He said, "You didn't have your seatbelt on earlier."
Moment of now, and if you can be in the now, you are sitting right in the middle of heaven. And I'll tell you something. I said this the other night, and the experience yesterday wasn't even remotely close to previous DMT experiences, and it wasn't anything other than to do with the dosage. It just wasn't enough, and it was a new thing that the gentleman had, and he wasn't quite sure how potent it was, and I have a fairly high threshold apparently, and where some really got the experience, my threshold is a little bit higher, and that's only because I spent 5 nights in a row there just going through and really breaking things down. But here's something to put in your pipe and smoke, literally, DMT hopefully and preferably. You're sitting right in the middle of heaven right now, and the only reason you can't see it is because you're seeing the slow false light called the Luciferian light. The light frequency you would call normally sunshine and lights in the room and stuff. This typical band of light that we're seeing is the veil. And what happens with DMT is literally an accelerant, a spiritual accelerant that allows you to see the faster frequencies of light that we have been blinded to by this light veil. It's not. You see, that's the joke of it. This veil is a veil of false light. And one of the things that and I'll ask you, Mike, because I know you've had quite a few experiences with this. The concept hit very, very clear and very clean. It did before I went up there. It was just kind of confirmed listening to people that with their experiences. I was more interested in hearing what other people were experiencing. So I guess kind of effectively moving into the guide role of, what did you see? Yeah, did you see this? Yeah, cool. And going through the different things. But one of the things that really, really hit home with me was this whole thing of, like I talk about like cannabis. When you're in the accelerated light frequencies of DMT, when you're actually wormholing, that's what you're doing. You're wormholing, and what happens is you're seeing things in the higher frequencies of light. Therefore, the true consciousness of what things are is being exposed. Now, I'll give you an example. In the normal light, when I look at cannabis, it's just little flakes and there's nothing going on. It's very still. It looks like it's dead. But when you're in the accelerated light, you see the consciousness. And I got to tell you, cannabis is like kick-ass, happy. It is like pure happy consciousness. And it has just such a beautiful, I can't even describe it really. It's... how would you describe this? It's undulating. It has this almost like, I hate to say it, I don't want to give the people the wrong picture, but almost like worms moving around. Beautiful little light worms that and they're it's just got this crazy happy consciousness in it, and it's just a very, very excited plant. And what I discovered last week, and again, that's how I was gauging it yesterday. And of course, the DMT that I got wasn't enough to accelerate me to that speed of seeing that consciousness. But I at least now have a measuring stick as to where I am in that consciousness. So may I get some of your feedback on that, Mike, as far as your experiences and
very clear.
Is that kind of close to what you've experienced as far as getting the wormhole effect?
Yeah, and this is why we're bringing up the skin, because we were breaking down light, Kate. We were talking about the slowed down light. I just didn't add the kind of the precursor to the conversation that we got the skin, but you just described it. It's about the slowed down light, and that's the false light. And we're thinking what we're seeing here in terms, what let you say, it's being, how do I get this clearer? Well, what we're going to be doing is this light we're going to emit. And when we emit this light, because we are source, we have this, we will, as you're mentioning, Kate, as we increase our spin, so to say, we build up our perpetual energy source, where we increase our vibration, you can say, where we're no longer, as you see, tuning in to the slowed down light. Our attention ain't stuck there. And so when we do this, well, this is what is coming clear, Kate.
Yeah,
the true light.
Just a quick outline, and here's the comparison. When we're dealing in this Luciferian light, and I'm going to that's exactly what it is. It's such a slowed down, the speed of light is so ultra slow.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
And good evening, welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, back at the helm, Kate of Gaia, here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. So there you go. For those that want to call in via Skype, I love these people that are on the ball, Clarity and everybody. Thank you so much. For those that want to call in direct through Skype, save themselves the bouncing ball on the Blog Talk page. Just put BTR listener 029. Just going to double check here. Let me see, just make sure I got that right. Yes, BTR listener 029 into the search contacts and search it. And as soon as it shows up, right click it, hit call. That'll bring you right to the board. For those that want to call in tonight, it should be an interesting night for sure. You can call in at 661-467-2401. And although I've only been back about 45 minutes, about 45 minutes, I haven't had really a chance to check in anything. No internet and complete, complete disconnect. But it was kind of cool. We'll get into a bit of that tonight as far as the ayahuasca journey and what have you, and give you my thoughts and whatnot there. Big thank you to Mike and of course Paul and Fire Phoenix for Friday and Saturday night, and Michael, thank you especially for helming the table to make sure that the two nights were covered. And it was a beautiful thing because knowing that your table is here for you and that you guys can take care of it is just such a peaceful thing. And it never even really crossed my mind, except around the time the show would be on. I think, oh, they're having fun, and I'm here having fun. Anyway, to say I missed the table is an understatement. And you really don't realize how much, well, for me anyway, how incredibly vibrant and important this table is until you step away for a day or two. And a day, okay, but 2 days, I got to tell you, I was feeling it. I was feeling it today, and it's just a very, very powerful place to be with like-minded souls. And I haven't had an opportunity to go through Facebook, but I've seen a few posts and what have you, so things are chugging along nicely. I'll get a chance to go through the Skype rooms. I was surprised there was only 30 separate tags on Skype. I was expecting more than that, but that's cool. And, of course, Facebook, I haven't had a chance to even look at the messages. I have quite a few waiting there as well. So I will get to those as soon as I do. Mental note for anyone posting and tagging, do not tag my name with any known shitiots, please. Thank you. I'll just leave it at that. And no fear porn on my page either. Thanks. All right, there was a few of them there I had to delete. So if you're wondering where it went, you had a comment and you can't find it, it's because I throw garbage out. It's kind of what I do, right? If it's garbage, I throw it out. If it's interfering and defining somebody else's reality with fear, well, it goes right to the shredder immediately. But I've got Mike on the board here, so I'm going to bring Mike in. Let's have a little wide open discussion tonight, because that's what I want it to be tonight, just wide open. I can give you lots of profound things that came to light over the weekend, but nothing that you don't really know, just getting a lot funnier and a lot more profound as we go. But again, Michael, thank you very much for helming the board. I greatly appreciate it.
Aloha, Kate.
Aloha.
Yeah. Beautiful. We're closer than ever. And that's kind of oxymoronic because we're already together, so I don't know how you can get any closer. But we're at the layer of the skin, Kate. The last layer of fear, so-called separation, the boundary, our own so-called boundary between another, which is this layer of skin, where the analog and digital, something right here is coming clear for us. And it's this perceived separation that is not there. That when we look with our eyes, we can still, in some ways, see a difference. And that come right back to, now we're on to color, Kate, where it was always the color of our skin, and now it was like, man, that was the confusion. It's this other aspect of the skin that we have, how it's the so-called border between the, our inner world and our outer world. And we talked about it on AstroQuest today. We opened it up a little with Seven, and he was like, I've been having this conversation 3 days with, this is it, Kate. So can we break down skin?
Oh, well, yeah, you've got the divine feminine knowledge, S-kin. Right? Now, just to make it even simpler, where you are right now in your reality, and the catchphrase came up with this weekend was, and now back to our regularly programmed scheduled episode of, hey, won't you get a load of me, starring me, ta-da, and get used to saying that because you are the star in your own movie. And the more power you give away to someone else, well, that's just a bad idea. And so and it's so easy to watch the interaction of people where this is occurring, where people are, it's basically passing the hot potato of a bucket of shit. And well, sorry, the bucket doesn't stop here with me. It stops in the hands of those trying to hand it to me. And then I hand the responsibility of it. I wouldn't do that to you. Why would you do that to me? Why would you want to vampire my power when I would give that to you freely? Why don't you just accept all things? Why don't you just accept the heart of all creation instead of, playing in this Marsha drama game of pass the proverbial buck? This is where you stop the telephone circle, where you stop and you stand and you change the line that's going to end. Instead of having something that's fear porn generated, then you change. Don't keep following along. You've played the school game telephone. Kid at one end, you got 30 kids in the circle, teacher's there, Teacher tells the kid, whispers in their ear something to pass to the next kid with a whisper so no one else can hear it. And what I used to do as a kid is when it get to me, I'd change it. They'd say, like, the cat is high in the tree. It would come to me, and I'd say, the dog is barking at the door. And then, of course, the kid at the end would stand up and all proudly say, the dog was barking at the door. And, of course, the teacher's face is, what? And all the kids before me went, what? And I, of course, would go, what? And
okay, what was the song? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf?
Bad wolf. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it's a very, very simple thing once you start seeing it. But really, for me, it boils down to the self-responsibility. How much responsibility can you take on yourself? And one of the things I will say, and I'll get into a bit more of the ayahuasca experience. Well, I can start that at any time here. Like I said, it wasn't what I was hoping for because the dosage wasn't enough to carry me across any real threshold. I actually had to. This is the good part, though. This is what I learned. Is once the door is partly open for me, I can actually go looking because I know what's there. I already know what's there, so I can look for it and see it. And so it was a very, very faint. How do you put it? Of everything I was already familiar with, it was just faint. But I'll tell you what I did get was a wonderful communication with the ayahuasca itself, in terms of the plant and a bit of the knowledge that came from it. And one of the things that came out of it, and I'd mentioned this to the gentleman that was doing this. I said, "What do you do with the sludge? The ayahuasca sludge?" Because what was shared with me was you need to dry that out and crystallize it, and that is a smokable material. And he said, "Yeah, that's because I was talking to a couple of people about that, and that's kind of one of the things that came up in topic. But that's what it was my feeling on it. That's because I was interested in, well, if the sludge is there, if it had the DMT in it, it's got to still have some DMT in it, if not a higher percentage, based on the fact that it's still the sludge. So dry that out and powder it, and lo and behold, I'm thinking that would be a perfect combination. That's what I was saying. I wish I had some smokable DMT alongside the ayahuasca, and would have been different. But right now, my vote. Although ayahuasca is very gentle, excuse me, getting you there. Of course, you have that puking urge and what have you, but that's easily overcome. But for me, the actual smoking of it is one, instant over the other side, and two, no nausea, no worries about that. So I mean, they both have their benefits. I can see the benefits of ayahuasca being a very slow walk into it, so you're not overwhelmed. Not that you would be anyway with smoking it. It's the way I prefer it anyway. Hey, I'm going on the ride. I want to get on the ride now. I don't want to wait in line for an hour. But that's what ayahuasca does, is it gently walks you into it. And it's the exact same DMT. It creates the same. You can see everything. It's beautiful. I just didn't get a chance to see much. That's all. So there was my experience. You there, Mike? Did I lose you? Hello?
No,
Anybody?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
in reflecting mode.
It really is. It is like snail compared to our true nature. Typical light that we see, we're seeing at 24 frames per second, which might sound like a lot, but that's your typical movie frames per second, okay? When you're putting up on the screen. But in reality, we're looking at things that are light that is traveling, or different frequencies, at 63 trillion frames per second. How much of the picture are you seeing?
Right.
Pretty much next to nothing.
And in that, Kate, that's the light we're attracting. That ain't the light that is here naturally.
No, we're bringing heaven here. You're absolutely right. This is, while the religio-cosus types are all worried about dying to go to heaven, we're dying to go to heaven in a different way. It's like you can die and go to heaven in the religious sense, or you can live and bring heaven here. And that's the mirror of every construct you've ever been put through in terms of control through schools and governments and religions and cultures, cults, whatever. any boundaries or limitations that you've placed upon yourself. Proof of a limitation, for example, would be carrying a passport thinking that there are apparently invisible or visible lines on the surface of the earth that says this part is different than this part. And when you really stop and look at it, it is beyond retarded. It really is. I need this little piece of paper to pass over this invisible line. Okay. Go ahead.
One of these invisible lines, how I see it and reflected in my body is, and this is what it brought me to, skin. Usually when we think of skin, we get a suntan, it's absorbing. And I went, wait a second, how do I feel like all of a sudden sometimes you see people, instead of absorbing, they're shining. It's the opposite. The light ain't coming. You ain't at effects to this slowed down light. You're shining your own light. And we talk about this, shine on, you shine your inner light like this. And it's much, this is coming clearer, Kate. This, as the discernment comes between the slowed down light and what else is here, let's say.
Okay, well, let's put that in a physical sense so people have a better understanding of it, as we can relate to it in our already well-programmed day-to-day life. I like using that because it's something that everyone's familiar with. I've lived it, you've lived it, we've all lived it. When you're talking about someone with an external light, right, that's a very attractive force for something that is dark outside of you. And of course, for those, I'll tell you, my musical experience attracted all sorts of that. Everyone wanted to be a part of that and parasite off that light, and it attracted all sorts of darkness in terms of beings or people that were in a lower state of consciousness, yes, but in a lower state of self-worthiness. And what I see happening throughout humanity, and this is why do not post fear porn on my page, because I will just delete you, okay? Because that is vampirism, where trying to take your negative imprint, ego definition of somebody else's reality and thrusting it onto someone else's face, someone else's down their throat. And this is what you'll find happening is, like, typically, for example, say a guy and a girl have a fight, and then of course one of them calls their friend and they start talking about all of this, sadness and this and that and the other. And what they're doing is because they've been drained of their energy by their partner, so what they're doing now is vampiring someone else to hand over that shit. It's basically passing the spiritual garbage buck. And we do it all the time. I not anymore for me. It's like, oh yeah, you've got a victim issue. All right, well you go off and sort that out and take your shitty little ego imprint and deal with it, because I am not letting you feed on me because you let someone feed on you. And I'll make sure that you know how to stop that from happening. But you got to stand up and take responsibility for yourself. And that's really all it boils down to. So we have a responsibility ourselves to not vampire on others. Oh, woe is me, and we've played that game. But you have an even greater responsibility to stop anyone from vampiring on you, because you're just perpetuating the problem. And if you've got any source of power, you are going to get sucked dry. And all you're going to do is keep empowering that which wants to vampire you. So cut it off. Kill it. And this is where you don't take anything personal. And the minute you can be objective in this, instead of being subjective to somebody else's shitty reality. I had a shitty reality. I fixed it. So I don't let anyone else's shitty reality come in on mine. And that's it. My game is simple. Keep putting out my own. How are we putting it this weekend? I was sharing with people about how important it is to simply define your own.
Just listening.
Yeah, it wasn't a letdown, but it wasn't a pickup either, right? It was very neutral. That's all I can say, and no harm to anyone, like to the gentleman that brought it. It was new for him, and I said to him, we got the advantage now of knowing the dose for the next time that you're doing this with people, so you can get them over the threshold, especially yourself, myself, and a few others that might take a little bit more to get pushed over, right? But yeah, because you've had ayahuasca experience, yes?
No, I haven't. I've had.
Oh, okay.
I haven't drinking the brew, but I've done. I was sitting in my jungle one time with a empty pipe because I sat down and I said, oh, it's time to do some DMT, and sat in the jungle, put the lighter to my pipe and realized it's empty. And then had the reminder, Mike, it's all here. So I went through the motions, hit my pipe. You know, within a second I was through. And then I met this shaman who had come to me up in the mountains. But I had this slight hesitation of fear, and he disappeared. And in an instant, this guy appeared next to me, and he shared with me the other brew from South America. And it's not a brew, it's the one where they'll shoot it up your nose. It's another one of the...
Oh, yeah, that'd be the real potent stuff, because you're dealing with light receptors right in the tunnel straight to the pineal gland. If you look at the angle of your nose, it's angled right to the pineal. That's why it's called a nose. The nose. You know what I'm saying?
So this guy appeared next to me in the jungle so quick, and before I could even hesitate or get the fear, because I said, yeah, I remember this, and I'm not fearful. I'm here, I'm ready. And in that instant, man, he was next to me in the jungle doing this, and away we went. And when I came back, you know, the chuckle was, I looked at my pipe, and it was, yep, Mike, there was nothing in there. And that's the beauty of it. And in a way of this, I need to practice this again. And it was that knowledge, that inner knowing that you can really, if it's your moment to tune in and do this, it will come. And people are having these experiences again without doing DMT or ayahuasca. They're just maybe not aware. Man, I had this really magical, mystical experience. I don't know what happened. I was like, yeah, it was your moment. It was your moment to shine.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing too, is these plants or whatever, they're just the guides to remind you that you can do this anyway. and that's a lot of this too. I can go back to any of the moments that I've had and be there and re-experience it in its full state, knowing what is there, right? This not what was there, what is there. And this is the really, really neat part. And the best part of the story is I came back with a proper get me across the threshold brew of ayahuasca. So we're not done yet, kids.
Right. So like even in that experience, Kate, and this was, how long ago, so-called in time, 15 years, 10 years, over 10 years ago, easily. And it was working up to that for me. And I've had many experiences since then. But that reminder always was there. It's like this magic, this mystical, this, and I would say it's a breath away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Sarah nailed it. Tune that dial ever so slightly. And that's exactly what we got to do. And that dial is contained within you. And one of the things that I have found through my own experiences of late is it was inside you all along, Dorothy. All you had to do was click your heels. But here's the joy of it, because once you know what's there, and this was a big realization for me, what's there on the other side, which is not the other side, it's right here. It's just it's right there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And the joke is, because of the Luciferian construct, you can't see it because that's the veil. That's the poison light that I've talked about for the last couple of years. You know, this whole sun god worship, Rav. You know, oh please.
Okay, here's where it's coming clear. Because when you tune in with this, and that's why I'm talking about the skin. When you tune in with this, you really tune into no separation. It's like that so-called space that you thought existed between you and anything is gone. And it's this, you're back into this really intimate relation